he scores!
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Welcome back to Ice Time Sports Complex. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network. And look at that, we have a camera. I remembered all of my equipment this time. I promise this will be the last time I make that joke. But we are all set to go, Prowlers and Venom, for the second time this season, as Port Huron looks to avenge that loss from 2 weeks ago. And coming off of their best stretch so far this season. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at the last game for the Hudson Valley Venom, one of their better games this season, despite it being a 5-4 shootout loss to the Binghamton Black Bears. John Moriarty kept them in it for the early part of that game. They got a chance to get back in it. Blake Sewardson had a couple of goals, Brett Parker a couple of assists, but they blew a lead within the final 2 minutes. Cameron Clark, the tying goal with under 2 to play, and then Clark scored the only goal in the shootout, and Binghamton able to escape Newburgh with a 5-4 win. And that was last Friday, not Saturday, because the game last Saturday between the Venom and the Watertown Wolves was postponed. The league posting a release on the website that it was due to mechanical issues with the Watertown Wolves bus. So the Venom and the Wolves will have to make that one up at a later date. Only one game last weekend for Hudson Valley as a result, and they do get 1 point out of it against the Black Bears. Meanwhile, the Prowlers, as I mentioned, one of their best weekends of the season, probably their best of the season. They took care of the Motor City Rockers in 2 games. 3-1 was the final last Saturday after a dominating 5-1 performance in the first game of the weekend. Well, Terry Nusianen, 31 saves in that one, 57 saves on 59 shots over the 2-game series. And the Prowlers got a goal in the final minute of each period. They killed off a penalty with 4.5 minutes to go in the game. Final 4.5 minutes, Prowlers were shorthanded due to a 5-minute match penalty taken by Michael Houlihan. For spearing, he ended up with a 1-game suspension, so Houlihan not available tonight. Isaiah Paris also not available tonight as he's on the IR. So we'll take a look at the Prowlers lineup in just a couple of moments. But first, here's what the standings look like as of now in the Empire Division. Black Bears all alone atop the division. This is the first time going into a weekend that Binghamton has had the outright lead, or anyone has had the outright lead in the Empire Division. Black Bears and Wolves split their 2 games. before anyone else played this season, and then they've gone blow for blow for each other, point for point throughout this season so far. And due to that game between Watertown and Hudson Valley being postponed on Saturday, Black Bears get to sit atop the standings all by themselves. Prowlers have distanced themselves a little bit from the bottom of the division, now towards the middle of the pack, battling with Danbury for that 3 seed. And if the playoff format is what I've told it will be, which will be the top 3 teams make the playoffs, and then 4 and 5 play a 1-game wild card to see who gets the 4 seed, then that 3 seed will be hugely important. Prowlers, again, 1 point behind Danbury at this point. Still 50 games to go for both of those 2 teams. Venom only have 1 win, so the Dashers, and of course that win for the Venom, came here against the Prowlers. John Moriarty's had a tough go of it to begin this season. He currently has the highest goals against average among qualified goaltenders in the FPHL at a 5.14. His .877 save percentage is bottom 3 in the league as well. Prowlers have a new face in the lineup. That is Reggie Millette. Of course, Millette was team suspended from the Fayetteville Marksmen in the SPHL for an incident that happened earlier on this season. Prowlers wanted to give him another chance, and Matt Graham, as he mentioned in the signing article, that they did their due diligence and they talked to all kinds of coaches and former players who played with Millette, and they heard nothing but good things, so they decided to sign Millette. You see his numbers there. He's a great hockey player, and he'll try to be a big part of this Prowlers lineup. I talked to Matt Graham earlier today about Reggie Millette.
And now, please welcome to the ice, your Hudson Valley Venom.
Now we pause for tonight's national anthem. So if you were able to hear that, that was tonight's national anthem from Newburgh. Let's take a quick look at the Prowlers lineup for tonight's game. You see Reggie Millette will slide in with Austin Federley and Tucker Scantleberry on the top line. Matt Graham sticking with his wingers, Lucas Lockney and Daniel Chartrand, while Jonas Leas, Luke James, and Jake Vaughn will be the third line. Gavin Fleck, the extra forward tonight. Vaughn sliding down from top line right wing to third line right wing, with Millette joining the team. Of course, as I mentioned, Houlihan out tonight as he is suspended for tonight's game, and Isaiah Paris on IR. Ludwig Thelstrom still out with that finger injury that he suffered against the Motor City Rockers. So the same defense pairings as last Saturday for Port Huron. As we take a quick look at the Orthopedic Associates starting lineup tonight for the Port Huron Prowlers. It will be that top line of Scantleberry, Federley, and Millette up front. Ben Brockway and Brett Lockhart on defense, and Makar Sokolov between the pipes tonight in Newburgh. We'll take a look at the goaltending matchup in just a few moments, but for now, we are underway tonight. Prowlers and Venom, second meeting ever and the Venom up 1-0 in the season series. This one sent over to the far side. There is Reggie Millette, his first touch as a Port Huron Prowler. Experience in the SPHL and the East Coast Hockey League, but not yet in the FPHL, at least until tonight. Brett Parker, the new Venom captain in the corner. Venom have some new leadership since the last time the Prowlers were here. We'll get to that a little while later, as Moriarty steers that one away from Millette. Now Matt Graham in on the forecheck, forces the puck to go up the boards. Alex Johnson tried to slide it back down towards Graham. Pops along to the line. Nikita Petroditsin, number 88. Down towards Tucker Scantleberry, who cycles it along. Daniel Chartrand in on the forecheck, rims it up the wall, and Johnson keeps it in at the point. Behind the net, it's Chartrand. He took a bump. Now Matt Graham had his pocket picked by Brendan Charlton, number 9. And the Venom get a dump in, and they'll change up the troops. Just over a minute gone in period 1. Petroditsin up towards Lockney. He couldn't get it out. Puck ends up back deep in Prowler ice. Top line out there for Hudson Valley as Noreka spinning in the corner. Tried to pull his way out, and Petroditsin put the puck back against the boards. Shot from the point, eaten up by a stick, and it flies out of play. As we take a look at our starting goaltenders for tonight's hockey game. Makar Sokolov looking for his first win of the season, while John Moriarty, who's been the workhorse so far for Hudson Valley, back between the pipes for them. And as we mentioned in the pregame show, he currently has the highest goals against average in the FPHL among qualified goaltenders. Davide Gaeta, the former Prowler, held up along the boards by Brian Parsons. Noreka spinning away from Adam Heinzel, and now Dustin Jessot, the ever-dangerous forward for the Venom. Shot one from a sharp angle, fought off by Sokolov. Luke James able to force it out to center. Now Noreka back the other way. Tried to hand off to Gaeta, pass was behind him. Unloading with a one-timer with Stahl. Turnaround shot by Noreka, blocked by Adam Heinzel. Now Noreka gets the faceoff out to the slot. Goes off the back glass. Not sure if Sokolov got a piece of it or not. Luke James able to hand off to Parsons, settling things down, and Leas works it out for Port Huron. Good opportunities there for the Venom. We stay scoreless. I'll tell you a little bit more about Jacob Stahl, who took that one-timer in just a few moments. As here come the Venom again. It's chipped in by Asp, and he's taken in hard from behind. Ben Brockway is going to the penalty box, and Asp down on the ice. He's slow to his skates. One of the new alternate captains for this Hudson Valley Venom team, Rasmus Asp. He'll head back to the bench under his own power. So the new leadership group for Hudson Valley, not only behind the bench with MJ Markle being promoted on October 30th after the firing of Josh Newberg, but they also named Brett Parker the captain, and the alternates are Rasmus Asp, Mark Poser, and Austin Pickford. So the Venom to the man advantage for the first time tonight. A 2-minute penalty up there for Ben Brockway, who made his pro debut in this building 2 weeks ago. So the Venom power play, which was 2 for 9 last Friday against Binghamton and ranked 7th in the FPHL, goes to work for the first time, and Brett Lockhart right off the draw able to spin it out. Prowlers PK, 6th in the league at 86.5%, went 7 for 8 over the 2 games last weekend against Motor City. Chartrand with a steal at center. He had a shorthanded goal. That was the empty netter against the Rockers last Saturday. The only shorty of the year so far for the Prowlers. In comes Dustin Jessot, knocked off his stick neatly by Heinzel. Luke James finds the puck, and he floats it all the way down ice. Minute 20 left on the penalty to Brockway. Looking at Noreka, his shot, they score. It took a funny hop up in the air. Makar Sokolov lost sight of it, and it looks like Noreka will get credit for the goal. That makes it 1-0 Hudson Valley. A power play goal for the Venom. And Noreka with his team high 3rd power play marker of the game. He now has goals in 3 straight, up to 4 total on the season. And that shot hit something. They believe it was a Prowler stick, and it fooled Makar Sokolov. And that is the first goal of the game tonight. Prowlers looking for a response. It's Chartrand in the corner, takes a hit from Poser. And now Scantleberry below the goal line, spinning, and Poser able to send it off the boards to Quinn Shevers, who was the hero last time these teams matched up, with the game winner with 2 minutes left to go in that one. Battled for in the corner. Now Belov pulling it out, Belov to the net, and now we have a fight. Brockway and Shevers going at it. Shevers unleashing a couple of right-hand bombs, and he sends Brockway down to the ice. So Ben Brockway will take his 2nd trip to the penalty box in this game so far, as he drops the mitts with Quinn Shevers. Those two were battling in the corner, and it boiled over as Belov was taking the puck to the net. They dropped the mitts. So what a start to this hockey game. Already a goal for Hudson Valley, and a fight between Shevers and Brockway, just battling, and all of a sudden the mitts were down, and both of them got a couple of good shots in, with Shevers ending up on top at the end of that scrap. Shevers had a very interesting last game against the Prowlers. Of course, after scoring that game-winning goal, he was suspended for 2 games for a lewd gesture. This is his first game back after that suspension. 2 points in 3 games for him so far this season. As we're back underway, still 5-on-5. As Eriksson sent it up the left wing, touched in by Jacob Stahl. Johnson turns back behind his own cage, chased by Charlton. Johnson lost the puck as he tried to pass it to Vaughn, who took it right back for Port Huron. Petroditson up towards James, he touches it in, and after it is Fleck along with Stahl. Stahl, who was traded here from the Blue Ridge Bobcats back on October the 29th, gets that puck deep. Johnson and Parker come together, and James over towards Fleck, and out to Vaughn, makes a move at neutral ice. But Prowlers can't get a good zone entry, and Brian Parsons, fresh off the bench, recollects to regroup. Brett Lockhart with a head of steam walks in, his shot off a stick, and goes off the back glass harmlessly. Comes to the point to Parsons, softly off the boards in the direction of Austin Federley. Instead it comes all the way through for Gesso. He goes to the right wing side. And stepping up is Panovanov, number 13, another new player for Hudson Valley. He was signed yesterday. That puck came in front and the rebound couldn't be put home by the Prowlers captain Austin Federley. Now Gesso puts a spin move on. Scantleberry watching him. And Gesso fakes the handoff and now works his way up ice. Soft dump in. Noreka and Lockhart get there together. Lockhart sent it up the boards right into Gaeta. He and Millette tie up. And now Gesso couldn't put it back on net as Federley took it at the red line. He'll dump it in. Port Huron with 5 fresh bodies on the ice. Just over 6 minutes gone in period 1. Only goal so far belonging to the Hudson Valley Venom and Imentus Norika. Back in comes Hudson Valley, sent towards the net, ends up in the near side corner. Belov stopped by Heinzel, and Graham takes the puck. Up towards Chartrand, has Lockney with him. Chartrand just dumps it in. Graham and Poser after it. Now Chartrand in as well, digging away. Slid up towards Parker. He starts a breakout, and he finds Connor Craig. The defenseman left it off. Nobody there to collect it for Hudson Valley, so out come the Prowlers on a counter. Chartrand trying to slide it down low. That was blocked. The headman feed is off the stick of Sewardson. And Luke James, first on for the Prowlers. He'll leave it for Johnson and absorb contact from Sewardson. Now it's Lockney flying up the right wing side. His shot off the post! He beat Moriarty to the blocker's side and just caught the iron. Now Sewardson chips it in around Lockhart. Petrodinson first on it in the corner. To a side scrum as it's worked up the boards. Now comes to the front of the net. Sliding, blocked by Lockhart. And Elias absorbs a hit from Pickford. Here comes Vaughn. Backhand sauce. Didn't work. And there's another pass that didn't work. That one off a Venom stick. And it will be icing against Hudson Valley. Plenty of action in this opening period. 1-0 Hudson Valley. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
The Eastern Michigan Small Business Network, providing resources and funding to help start or grow your business. Small business support in participating Region 6 counties. Take advantage of the network's free training and events for entrepreneurs and small business owners. The Eastern Michigan Small Business Network aims to boost your chances of success. Learn more about the network's small business cohort program. With rentable workspaces, business coaching, training, and funding opportunities, it's time to become a client of the Eastern Michigan Small Business Network.
Back here at Ice Time Sports Complex, Will Wiggleman on the PHP Network. It's 1-0 Hudson Valley, 12:18 left to go in period number 1. Prowlers very close to tying the score, but Lucas Lockney just hit iron on a good opportunity up the right wing side a couple of moments ago. Prowlers will get an offensive zone face-off here. They send out that top line of Federley, Scantleberry, and Reggie Millette, the new signing. We talked more with head coach Matt Graham about him in the pregame show, and he just continued to talk about how he was doing his due diligence when Millette became available. There were a number of teams in the FPHL who were looking to sign Millette. Prowlers were one of them, of course, and Matt Graham talked to former coaches and heard nothing but good things about the character of Reggie Millette. And he's certainly been a good personality in the locker room, at least so far. Very talkative out on the ice, and certainly very, very skilled. Here's Federley off a takeaway. Millett shot, and that one wouldn't go. A bad turnover by the Venom almost cost them. Reggie Millett couldn't put home his first as a Port Huron Prowler. Here comes Millett as Federley going to a net. Soft stick there, and the save made by Moriarty. Rescued there by Nareka. And Asp trying to move it along. Had to deal with Millett, who took the puck. Now Federley in the circle. Couldn't get it back deep. Venom looked to work it out, and they do. It's Just So, one-on-one against Johnson. Just So, back in front, saved by Sokolov, and then it's cleaned up by Gaeta. And Davide Gaeta had a 3-point game last time these two teams matched up. Doubles the Hudson Valley advantage. Second of the year for Gaeta. He picks up his team-leading 8th point of the season. And just like that, a 2-goal lead for Hudson Valley. And are they going to continue to be a thorn in the Prowlers' side despite their placement in the standings? We'll see if Port Huron can recover. This game not 9 minutes old yet. Lockhart trying to make something happen. Tried to send it back to the point to Heinzel, but that puck bounced up in the air, so Heinzel has to curl back. Fleck lost it, but unable to get it to the net was Parker as he was surrounded by white sweaters. Asp down towards Parker. Now it's Erickson, taken in by Luke James. Asp again at the point, gave it away to Vaughn. Vaughn trying to gain a step. Here he comes, his shot. Oh, it was poked off his stick just before he could get it on goal. Good back check by Asp, who's the one who made the turnover in the first place. Erickson, long range try, gloved and held by Makar Sokolov for a whistle and a face-off. Just over 10.5 to go in the opening 20 minutes. So Dustin Just So getting credit for the assist on both goals so far, as each of his line mates has a goal. Just So had 5 points in the Venom's first game. He's played 3 games this season. He had 1 assist in his second game played this season. That was 2 weeks ago against the Prowlers. But these are his first points since. And 2 assists here tonight. He's up to 5 helpers on the season. Alex Johnson fighting through. He's able to work it up to Graham. Lockney on for Shartrand. He'll backhand it deep. Lockney trying to meet Craig there. Craig able to poke it away. Shartrand dumped right back in on Moriarty. That one dipped right in front of the blue paint, and John Moriarty ready for it. Now Lockney trying to turn it back up, sent it over in Graham's direction. Johnson skates into it, and he dumps it around. Moved along and out. Petroditsin hustling after it. Johnson comes all the way across to take it. Quick up. Prowlers can't get it deep. And the Venom look to turn it back the other way. Pickford, as he went down to a knee, sent it to Noreka. Now it's Gaeta to Just So, his shot. Makar Sokolov got a piece. And Just So on it again. Down low, saved by Sokolov, loose in the crease, still battling for it. And it's poked to the corner by Scantleberry. Danger not over yet as Pickford gets to the middle of the ice and he pitchforks it to the corner. Noreka battled there with Federley. Both of them lost their sticks. Now Just So floats it towards the net, deflected by Noreka, but blocked by Federley. Scantleberry works it across to Millett. 9 to go in the opening period as Millett kicks it back up to his stick. All the way around the cage he goes, gets it to the point to Brockway. D-to-D pass, Lockhart floats it down deep in the direction of Luke James. Now Millett back around towards James, he's on it. James to the middle of the ice, shot saved by Moriarty, and he's able to cover up the rebound for a whistle. 8:39 to go in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. Tensions rising, and the Venom up 2-0. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not...
A Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken bag, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Two 2-0 Venom, 8:39 left to go in period number 1. Hudson Valley up on shots right now, 8-3 officially. And Port Huron searching for an answer. They'll get an offensive zone faceoff. Luke James kicked out of this draw. He'll be replaced by Jonas Leas to draw against Charlton. One back by Brendan Charlton. Out come the Venom. Except no, Jake Vaughn throws a big hit, keeps the puck in. But that one eludes a couple of players and slides all the way back to Prowler ice. Brett Lockhart fired a pass up towards Leas. That one off his stick and it ramps out of play. They'll keep the face-off outside of Venom territory. Big hit by Jake Vaughn on Panavanov. That's certainly an element to Jake Vaughn's game that we haven't seen a ton of. He's a big body, but relies a lot more on his good shot. We'll see if we see more of him playing the body as this season and this game move along. Panavanov quickly moves it, kicks off a skate, and back to Matt Graham. Prowler's on the attack. It's Shartran. Tried to slide it up to the point, but got his signals crossed with Alex Johnson. So Port Huron has to come all the way back for it. Johnson rims it up to the red line where Lockney was waiting. On for Graham, trying to fight through a check. Puck still there on the half wall. And now here come the Venom. Sewardson into the zone. Gets it to the middle of the ice. Backhander stopped by Sokolov. That was Belov who got a great opportunity, and it was shouldered away by his countryman, Makar Sokolov. And Belov a little doubled over as he heads back to the Venom bench. Meanwhile, Prowler's looking for an offensive opportunity. Chartrand collects it in the near side corner. Rimmed around, centering feed. Lochte kicked it up to his stick, then turned it just past the blue paint. Chartrand had it go through him. He was sent down to the ice by Craig, who's tried to skate it out, but he hands it right to Austin Federley. Puck loose in a strange area, and now out come the Venom. They get it in front. Quick shot, stopped by Sokolov, and he hangs on for a whistle and a face-off. And now a wrestling match ensuing. Sewardson was grabbed by a Prowler. Now Heinzel on top of one of the Venom players. This one's certainly not done. 3 players paired up. Chartrand tangled up with Stahl right now. Down on the ice, it's Sewardson, and I'm trying to see what Prowler they're pulling off of him. It's Brian Parsons who went right after Blake Sewardson to start that whole melee. Heinzel and Pickford were paired up. And Chartrand was wrestling with somebody as well. I believe that was Stahl. So we'll try and figure this one out. Brian Parsons with a lot to say from the Port Huron penalty box. There is a member of the Venom wearing number 2 right now. He's not listed as number 2 on the FPHO website or on the live stat, so I'm not sure who that is. I just saw a single 2. It's possible that that is Sal Safante, the celebrity player tonight, but I don't want to make any assumptions. 6:39 left to go in period 1 as they sort all of this out. Heinzel and Parsons sitting in the Prowlers penalty box. I believe, at least for now, Shertrand has escaped any kind of judgment. Sewardson is back on the Hudson Valley bench as well. All 4 men in stripes having chats in front of the scores table. Tonight's referees are Steve Cook and Steve Cannon. The linesmen, Will Fannin and Michael Imperio. Captains Austin Federley and Brett Parker, you see there at the top of the referee circle. I'm not sure if there are 1 or 2 Venom players in the home penalty box. The penalty box attendant is standing up, so I can't see if there's anyone behind him, and I can't tell from this angle on the camera or from where I'm standing. I'm right about along the goal line next to Makar Sokolov. I can't tell from here or on the camera. And then I do see Heinzel and Parsons both in the visiting penalty box. Nothing has been put up on the board or has come down on my penalty sheet as of yet. 2-0 Venom. At this point, late stages of the opening period, they've had some very good opportunities. Prowlers, not too many great opportunities towards the net. They have hit a post, but haven't really sustained much zone time and gotten offensive opportunities off that zone time. They've taken some turnovers. They've stolen the puck away a couple of times. And it looks like there's just one Venom player in the home penalty box. They've taken some turnovers, but haven't been able to put those turnovers in the back of the Hudson Valley net. John Moriarty has 3 saves right now, at least he's being credited with. Makar Sokolov, 7 saves on 9 shots at this point. They're still figuring things out right now. We'll see what the penalties are. Hopefully relatively soon, as the explanation is being given to each captain. Steve Cannon chatting with the captains, and Steve Cook, the other referee, talking to the scorers table. Make sure everything is all squared away. This one has certainly been nasty early. We had the fight between Brockway and Shevers. We've had a couple of scrums after the whistle, and it all came to a head there just moments ago in front of the Prowler net after Makar Sokolov made a save. Daniel Chartrand heading over to the Prowler's door, but now he'll go back to the bench as he just had to say something to Michael Houlihan. Again, suspended tonight is Michael Houlihan after picking up a spearing match penalty. He'll be eligible to return tomorrow when the Prowlers are in Binghamton. The exact same road trip the Prowlers made 2 weeks ago. They lost to the Venom in regulation and then fell to the Black Bears in overtime 2 weeks ago. And they'll try and get better than 1 point this time around. Although off to a tough start, certainly. Looks like the Prowlers are sending out a power play unit right now. Lockney, Graham, Scantlebury, Johnson, and Federley, which is typically their top power play unit, all out there by the face-off circle to John Moriarty's left. So the players on the ice, combined with the fact that the linesmen look set to drop the puck deep in Venom territory despite the fracas going on the Prowler side, tells me that Port Huron's on a man advantage. Now Austin Pickford is being asked to leave. And since he has to walk right through the lobby here at Icetime Sports Complex to get back to his locker room, maybe he'll sign some autographs on the way. A 5-minute major is up on the board for Austin Pickford. Prowlers with a 5-minute power play and a huge opportunity to get back in this game. And I assume that means that everything else evened up. So we're underway for a Port Huron 5-minute man advantage. They can score as many times as they like. Austin Federley, who had a power play goal last time these teams met up, has it at the top now. Rister, he scores! Very similar to that aforementioned power play goal. Rister from the point beats Moriarty to the blocker's side, and the Prowlers are on the board. Isn't it great when things line up like that? Just as I'm talking about that power play goal, which was very, very similar. He was just a few steps to the left that time when he scored the last time, that time closer to the center of the ice. But either way, Austin Federley with his second power play goal of the year, 4th overall. And he is back on the score sheet after seeing his 4-game point streak snapped on Saturday in Fraser. That only took about 20 seconds. Prowler's still on the 5-on-4 man advantage because it is a major penalty. They have not put the penalties on my penalty sheet yet, so I can't tell you what the call was, as Brett Parker wastes some time and fires it all the way down. It's Federley from Lucas Lockney. As it's sent around by Lockney. Scantlebury had some trouble with it, and the puck comes all the way back down. Federley recollects. Lockney up to a 5-game point streak now. Matt Graham and Alex Johnson have 5-game point streaks coming into this game. They'll try to extend them certainly as we move along. Other power play unit coming out for Port Huron as Lockhart sauces it on to Brockway. Now Vaughn, down low Chartrand. Reggie Millette, the 5th on this man advantage unit, effectively taking the spot of Ludwig Thelstrom, but I don't expect Millette to play right up at the top like Thelstrom has. As Lockhart dances his way in. Looks like Brockway taking that spot right at center point. As it's played to Millette in the corner. Now Vaughn walks the line. Across to Lockhart. All the way to Millette. Fought off by Moriarty, diving to his right. 3 minutes left on the Prowlers power play. It's Vaughn. Over to Lockhart. Out high Brockway. Lockhart steps, gives down to Chartrand. Across Millette. He scores! Welcome to Port Huron, Reggie Millette. Second power play goal for the Prowlers, and they tie it up. They'll have 2:48 still of man advantage time to work with, but a power play that came into the weekend 9th in the FPHL has gone to work already 2 for 2, and Reggie Millette has his first in a Prowlers uniform. He had 3 goals in 4 games for the Fayetteville Marksmen early on this season in the SPHL. As Prowlers will save that puck for Reggie Millette. Again, wearing number 38 for Port Huron. As Johnson steps in off sides as Scantlebury couldn't stay on the blue line. We'll take a timeout Prowlers power play gets them back in the game 2-all. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we have a flavor philosophy. It's that you deserve to mix and match the most delicious flavor you've ever had with even more of the most delicious flavor you've ever had. But how can you mix and match the most delicious flavor twice at the same time? Well, we're not in the business of logic. We're in the business of blowing your flavor-loving mind with flavor upon flavor. Philosophize on that. Get any 2 items on the mix and match menu, including the 2-topping flatbread pizza for $6.99 each.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Daniel Chartrand and Ben Brockway being given the assist on the goal by Reggie Millette. So for Chartrand, he extends his point streak to 4 games after coming into this game with a 3-game goal streak, and Brockway picks up his first point as a pro. So we'll see if he and Millette can split that puck in half, as they both pick up some firsts. Again, for Millette, his first goal in the FPHL and with the Prowlers. Prowlers have the first unit back out there. Federley, who had the first power play goal, drops it off for Lockney. Down to Graham, tried to center in front, and Scantleberry couldn't get that one to go. There were some bodies in front, not sure if it made it to Moriarty or not. This one sent down ice by the Venom penalty kill. 2 minutes left on the 5-minute major to Austin Pickford. So it looks like Pickford and Sewardson both got 5-minute majors. I don't see anything down for the Prowlers quite yet. Probably still working on that, as Craig rims this one all the way around and down. Sewardson also got 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct, but I did hear over the loudspeaker that Pickford is done for the game. Here's Johnson, and he just whipped it wide as the loose puck slid into offensive territory, and Alex Johnson ripped it just past the glove hand of Moriarty, but couldn't find the target. Scantleberry had some trouble with it. Now he'll skate in, drops it off. Vaughn all the way around the net. Now up high to Brockway. Back to Vaughn. Steps down the face-off circle, centering feed towards Millette, touched wide. Lockhart, Chartrand, now Millette. Up high, Lockhart gives it back. Millette, a shot, and he scores! How about 2 on this power play for Reggie Millette? 3-man advantage goals for the Prowlers, and they're making the Venom pay. They're in the lead. It was 2-0 Hudson Valley before the penalties, and a 5-minute major that the Prowlers are taking full advantage of. Has them back in front, 2 from Reggie Millette. That one a quick wrister from the right wing circle. So the Prowlers feeling a lot better than they were about 5 minutes of game action ago. As Millette comes back in, gave it across. Lockhart, curl and drag, but he couldn't pull the trigger. And it's floated down ice with 32 seconds left in the penalty to Pickford. That's being served. I'm not actually sure who that's being served by. I can't tell from this angle, but we have Brockway getting back in, but stopped up at the line due to an offsides. Asp came together with Millette. And more words than shoves this time, as both teams will be separated. 18 seconds left until we're back to 5-on-5. Prowlers taking full advantage and more of that power play. as they have Matt Graham's line out there, minus Daniel Chartrand with Tucker Scantlebury in that spot. Alex Johnson and Nikita Petroditsin, the defense pair at the moment. Minute 40 to go in period one. We're now back to 5-on-5 as Lockney carries his way in. Backhander knocked down by Moriarty. Comes out to Johnson. Kick save by John Moriarty on that one. Now Graham spinning in the corner as Charlton right on him. Forced up the wall. Gaeta plays it out to Gesso. Working on Johnson. Gesso. Power to the net, one-handed right through the crease, and Johnson finishes his check on former teammate Dustin Gesso, who gives him a shove. Scantlebury grabs Gesso, and here we go again. Gesso back down to the ice. Johnson ran Gesso into the net as Gesso powered it through. Gesso's lost his jersey. And then Gesso gave a shove to Alex Johnson. Scantlebury and Gesso jawing at each other. And Scantlebury heading off the ice. You see Dustin Gesso there, still with plenty of words that we can't say on air. Johnson and Gesso certainly know each other well. Teammates long time ago, Brewster Bulldogs and the Danbury Titans as well. And of course here in Port Huron briefly. Gesso being escorted back towards his bench. We'll see if Tucker Scantlebury is accruing the only penalty here, as Gesso is back over with his teammates. Scantlebury again has been sent off the ice. Let's take you back through those goals for the Prowlers on the 5-minute power play. While we're sorting this one out, it was Austin Federle from Lucas Lockney, officially the first one, and that one came 17 seconds after the power play began. Less than 2 minutes later, Reggie Millette from Daniel Chartrand and Ben Brockway, and less than 2 minutes after that, Millette got his second from Brett Lockhart. So Millette with 2 goals and assists sprinkled around throughout both power play units. Surely we'll get some more special teams here. Again, the penalties to Brian Parsons and Adam Heinzel, who were sitting in the box, never came down. I only see Sewardson and Pickford for fighting, and then Sewardson 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct. I can only assume that one of Parsons or Heinzel got the 5 for fighting. I'm going to guess it would be Parsons and Sewardson each got 5 for fighting. Heinzel and Sewardson each 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct or roughing or something of the like. And then Pickford got the extra 5 for fighting. That is my guess. Again, the only 3 penalties on the penalty sheet from that fracas earlier on in the period, just before the Prowlers went on the power play, are 5 for Sewardson, and then the 2 for Sewardson, and then 5 for Pickford. And pardon me, that 2 for Sewardson is actually an unsportsmanlike conduct. They call it a bench minor. Everybody's still chatting. Referees, teams. Alex Johnson is in the Prowlers penalty box. 2 minutes are up on the board for him. I don't see anybody in the Venom penalty box. Looks like we'll stay that way. So the Prowlers will be short-handed, and they only have 3 skaters on the ice, so it's a 5-on-3 for the full 2 minutes, and Tucker Scantlebury has been given 5.
2 minutes for holding, 2 minutes.
So Johnson gets 2 for holding. And Scantleberry has a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. So one on each side, done for the game. And the big opportunity that the Prowlers took advantage of, the Venom have that as well right now. A minute to go in period one. Noreka gives it down to Gesso, stepping out of the corner, gets to the face-off dot, down to Noreka, behind the net, watched by Federley, now out to Gaeta. Up top it's Craig. Gesso, one-timer, couldn't find anything except for the protective netting above the glass. So the Venom with a full 2-minute 5-on-3 opportunity here. And again, as I mentioned, Prowlers had a great opportunity. They took advantage. The Venom have a great opportunity and an even better opportunity thanks to it being 5-on-3. As Gaeta gives it to Craig. Back to Gaeta. Craig again. Craig walks in and he drops it to Gesso with 35 to go in the period. Over to Gaeta. Has Belov in front. Gesso thought about the one-timer, fumbled it, Graham right in on him. And now Gesso backs out. Graham put a slash on Gesso. He dove down to the ice. Matt Graham is going to get a penalty. Graham was giving him some shoves, and Gesso turned to the referee to complain. Then Graham put a slash on him, and Gesso with a full dolphin dive down to the ice. I think that's what Matt Graham is arguing about with the referees. And now they'll discuss. 18 seconds left in period one. And Matt Graham not happy in the visiting penalty box. Chris Paulin on the Prowlers bench wants an explanation as well. Coming up in the Moses Roses smoke break, we'll take a look at the highlights from last week's games against the Motor City Rockers. Also some storylines from around the league. It's all coming up. First intermission report, the Moses Roses smoke break here on the PHP Network as that drive is eaten up by Makar Sokolov off the stick of Noreka from straight on. So 2 for slashing to Matt Graham. And his 2 can't start until Johnson's 101 now comes off the board. So it'll continue to be a 5-on-3 unless the Venom can score. Noreka stopped again. It's loose in the crease. Somehow doesn't go. Gaeta and Federley went into the crease together. And Austin Federley won that battle and sent it out of the blue paint. Sokolov looked behind him, and somehow Austin Federley able to keep that one from becoming a goal. So the Prowlers with a 3-2 lead after a wild 20 minutes here in Newburgh. Shots on goal officially 11-6 in favor of the Venom. It's the Prowlers who go to the locker room with the lead 3-2. Once again, Moses Roses smoke break coming up here on the PHP Network. Take a look at the highlights from last weekend against the Motor City Rockers. We'll also look at some storylines from around the FPHL. Coaching change is one of them. A big trade today is another, so stay tuned for that. And we're also, if we find the time, maybe we can talk about what a wild first 20 minutes this has been. And it's 3-2 Prowlers with their penalty kill. We'll have some work to do as we get set for period number 2 with Port Huron in the lead by 1. Well, the Prowlers are celebrating 10 seasons in Port Huron, and now is your chance to get your hands on some special 10th anniversary gear at the team store. You can find all of this great merch at every home game on the west end of McMorran Arena or online anytime at prowlersmerch.com. You can scan the QR code on your screen now to visit the online shop. Look your po-ho best with gear from the Prowlers team store. It is 3-2 Port Huron, but there's so much more that went on besides that. We'll talk all about it after taking a look at the highlights from last week's games between the Prowlers and the Rockers. That's all coming up next, right here on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. And it's pulled out of the pile by Rivers. Rivers sending Smith in on a breakaway. Backhand shut down by Nusiainen. And he'll cover up for a whistle and a face-off. And Brockway this time able to get it deep off the near side corner boards. Luke James fresh off the bench. Pass across Chartrand. He scores! Daniel Chartrand opens the scoring on Military Appreciation Night. 1-0 Prowlers. As Sam Gagnon wins this face-off away from Austin Federley. Smith tried to hand off to Gagnon. Scantleberry took the puck. He turns it back in. Right on, he scores! And he sends the water bottle off the net, and the water goes everywhere. Tucker Scantleberry doubles the Prowlers' lead. Gets it up to Lockney, who touches it in. Gonzalez first there. Wraps it around the wall. Graham quickly out top. Fellstrom down low. In between his own legs. Lockney trying. It's still loose. They jam it home. Lucas Lockney went between his own legs. It was loose in the crease and finally put home. And the Prowlers make it 3. And then the puck came right back through the crease. Now the Rockers with a 2-on-1. Floated across, shot, glove, save! Nusiainen, and he makes it look casual. Lucas Lockney right back on it, off the side of the cage. Colton harassed by Lockney. Scantlebury takes the puck, fights through in front, they score! Austin Federle gets one to go, and the Prowlers are back up by 3. Johnson holds, doesn't shoot. Federle, back pass to Lockney. Downhill, he scores! How about another for Lucas Lockney? 5-1 Port Huron. Gets the hip from Austin Federle as he tried to make a move. Graham's stick fails him as he tried to move it up to Scantlebury. Centering pass stopped by Nusiainen as A.J. Ryan had a glorious opportunity thanks to the broken stick of Matt Graham. Shot towards the net, steered away by Nusiainen, and then the Rockers had trouble with it. Here come the Prowlers with numbers. Lockhart, Scantlebury gave it back and he scores! It's Brett Lockhart who gets a shot to the face after tying the score. Great give and go between him and Tucker Scantlebury. Up towards Baptiste, off his stick. Prowlers look for a counter, but Graham overskated the puck. And now it's to Sneath, all alone, stoned by Nusiainen. Loose puck scooped up by Matt Graham. Out in Chartrand's direction, 2-on-2, now 3-on-2. Down to Graham, in front, Lockney, he scores! Chartrand to Graham to Lockney, 5th of the year for Lucas Lockney, and Port Huron is in front. And Tim Delaney turns it back the other way. Avery Smith on the right wing side. Little toe drag to the forehand. And he's stoned by Nusiainen as Avery Smith was looking for a highlight reel goal. 17 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Then it'll be 5-on-4 as Milam unloads. Blocked by Brockway. The one-timer. And he gets taps from the bench. Sent back to Colton. Milam, another block by Brockway on the one-timer. Up to Rotundi. He dumps it around. Johnson from behind the net. This one going all the way down off the back wall. Chartrand first there, and he deposits it into the empty cage. Boom goes the dynamite. Stick taps for the Prowlers penalty kill as Port Huron hangs on to sweep the weekend against the Motor City Rockers.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Back here in Newburgh, 3-2 Prowlers after one of the most chaotic periods of the season so far. I go so far as to say that was the most chaotic period of hockey we've seen for the Port Huron Prowlers in 2024-25. Will Wiggleman with you on the PHP Network. We'll break it all down for you in just a few moments, but first some storylines from around the league to tell you about. And we start with the Prowlers' I-94 rivals, the Motor City Rockers, promoting Jamison Milam to head coach, replacing Steve Shannon, who was fired on Saturday ahead of the second game of that series between the Prowlers and the Rockers, as the news broken here on the PHP Network. Mississippi Seawolves acquired Jay Krupp from the Columbus River Dragons today for future considerations. His father and the owner of the River Dragons, Jeff Krupp, cited disagreements about his future. So now he gets a fresh start in Mississippi, a team that is certainly searching for offense. And meanwhile, his former club, the River Dragons, remained unbeaten, moving to 5-0-0 after a 2-1 victory over the Baton Rouge Zydeco last night in Baton Rouge. So lots going on around the league. 3 head coaches have been fired since this season started. And to go back to Milam, that's the second head coach replacement for the Rockers in less than a month. Steve Shannon replaced Gordy Brown during training camp less than a month ago. So turmoil certainly there, and Milam will hopefully, for Motor City fans, be the guy that can settle things down and just get them to playing hockey. Certainly the Rockers played much better on Saturday than they did on Friday night. We'll see if that continues. Let's check in on their game, as well as others around the FPHL. Let's start in Binghamton, where the Prowlers will be tomorrow night. 3 power play goals in this game, 2 for the Black Bears, 1 for the Dashers. It's 2-1 for the home side as they play early stages second period. Wolves and Hat Tricks scoreless as they play in period 1. Shots are 11-3 right now in favor of Danbury, and perfect between the pipes are Connor McCullum for the Hat Tricks and Anton Borodkin for the Wolves. Rockers have a 1-0 lead on the strength of a goal by TJ Sneath. Power play goal in that first period in Fraser. They're up 1-0 on the Monroe Moccasins right now. As we slide over to the rest of our out-of-town scoreboard, Bobcats with a 1-0 lead on the Mississippi Seawolves late stages first period over in Wytheville. And getting set to drop the puck in just a few minutes, the River Dragons and the Zydeco rematch. It's former Dragon Brendan Colgan against Sammy Bernard, who has been the best goaltender in the league statistically early on this season. Same goaltending matchup as last night in Baton Rouge. And of course here, it is 3-2 Prowlers through 20 minutes of play. As we take a look at the stats from that first period, and it's 3-2, shots just 11-6 right now officially on the total. They have finally figured out all of the penalties and added them all up. Prowlers 3 for 3 on the power play. Venom right now 0 for 4, although 3 of those penalties are still either ticking off or pending. So really they're 0 for 1 so far. But let's start back at that big fray that gave the Prowlers the 5-minute power play where they scored 3 goals. You have Brian Parsons and Blake Sewardson, 5 each for fighting. You have Adam Heinzel and Quinn Shevers, 5 each for fighting. And then you have Austin Pickford, 5 for fighting, and an unsportsmanlike conduct, game misconduct. There is also a 2-minute unsportsmanlike conduct against the Venom and a 2-minute roughing minor to Brian Parsons. So that all evened out except for the 5-minute fighting major for Austin Pickford. That's why the Prowlers had a 5-minute power play. Meanwhile, near the end of that period, Prowlers got into penalty trouble of their own. It was Johnson for holding, and then Scantlebury got 5 for fighting and an unsportsmanlike conduct game misconduct. So both Pickford and Scantlebury's nights are over. And then Matt Graham, the 2 minutes for slashing. And Graham's 2 minutes can't start until Alex Johnson's 50 seconds finish coming off the clock. The Prowlers PK, which came up huge in the win last Saturday against the Motor City Rockers, killing off 4.5 minutes of penalty time to end that game, will go right back to work, and a huge opportunity for the Venom to, at the very least, tie this game back up. As both teams hitting the ice, we take a look at our PHP Network trivia question, and it's about the player in the celebrity contract tonight, Sal Safante, the APHL semi-pro Hudson Valley Vipers fan favorite. He's on a celebrity contract tonight. We want to know who the last player to sign a celebrity contract with the Prowlers was. Who was the last player to do the celebrity deal for Port Huron? Put your guess in the comments section, and we'll give you the correct answer at the start of period number 3. Makar Sokolov down ice to our left. He stopped 9 of 11 Hudson Valley shots in the opening 20 minutes. Meanwhile, John Moriarty getting set right in front of me down here on the right-hand side. He is at a 50% save percentage right now. 3 saves on 6 Prowler shots, officially credited. I do believe that both teams have been shorted a few shots, and in that way, both goaltenders have been shorted a few saves, but such is life as an FPHL netminder. As we are just about set to begin period number 2. Again, 50 seconds of 5-on-3 time left for the Venom on Alex Johnson's penalty, but then Matt Graham will still be in the box, so Johnson won't be able to come out immediately unless a goal is scored or there's a whistle right after his time comes off the clock. It's messy, but that's what we'll have to deal with here tonight. We'll see if the two teams can play a little 5-on-5 hockey in this middle 20 minutes once the Prowlers are completely back to full strength. Venom have their top power play unit of Jesso, Gaeta, Craig, Noreka, and Belov out there right now. Prowlers with Federley, Heinzel, and Brockway to start things off here in period 2 on the kill. There are currently 4 Prowlers in the visiting penalty box. Things are short on the Port Huron bench. Gavin Fleck is in there serving for somebody. I want to say it's Tucker Scantlebury. That's the only option I can guess. So Federley and Jesso will take the face-off. We'll finally get back to some hockey here. The Hungry Howie's second period begins with another true balance penalty kill for the Prowlers. Now Blake Sewardson still has some more time to serve, I guess. So he steps into the box. And we're underway in the middle frame tonight. Jesso gave it up to Noreka. Let's go Venom chants coming down from the dozens of fans in attendance tonight. As it's worked to Jesso, right on, his shot goes wide, and it bounces back to Sokolov, who clamps the glove on top for a whistle and a face-off. Venom had 2 shots on the power play before the end of that period. That one shouldn't count as a shot on goal. As Jesso able to win it to the wall. And Hudson Valley sets up again. Craig to Jesso. straight away, watched by Chartrand. Good stick by Adam Heinzel to get in the passing lane. Noreka recovers the puck as he's harassed by number 74 in white. Now Jesso, left wing side, shot stopped by Sokolov. Gaeta able to poke it back to Jesso. Jesso shot, deflected, Heinzel battling for it. It comes to the corner. And now a shot from the outside, they score! Noreka picked the top corner on Makar Sokolov. That's a 5-on-3 power play goal for the Venom. And it ties things up at 3. And Johnson's penalty had expired, and Graham's had started ticking off, so I believe Matt Graham is let out. Yes, he is. So just one player left in the box. That is Gavin Flex serving for Tucker Scantleberry. So a 5-on-4 for the next 2:58. Well, what a wicked shot by Eimantas Noreka, the Lithuanian, who has goals in 3 straight now. That's his 4th of the season, or 5th of the season, pardon me. 2nd of the night for him. Team high 3rd power play goal of the year, as Noreka continues to be a big piece on that top line, not just in his 6'3", 229-pound stature. So it is indeed 5-on-4 now for the next 2:53 as the Venom send out their 2nd power play unit. Mark Poser sent in hard to the wall by Lockhart, and the Prowlers clear. Poser behind his own net as his team starts to skate up ice. He finds the captain Parker, back to Poser, quickly up to the Prowler blue line, but unable to send it in that time with Stewartson. Charlton pulls up. He got it down deep. Stewartson out high to Poser. Across Parker, back to Poser. They play catch, now they switch spots. Poser tried to send it to the middle of the ice, swinging and missing there with Charlton. Prowlers can't bounce it out. Charlton back down the wall, but down on a knee was Lockhart, and he's able to fire at the length of the ice. Moriarty trying to catch the Prowlers in a change of say, gave it away to Lockhart, looking towards Luke James. That one rode off the stick of Poser and out of play, and almost hit Luke James right in the face. I'm sure he saw that puck right in front of his visor, and maybe his light flashed before his eyes as Poser got his stick in the way of the pass, and it deflected up high out of play. Offensive zone draw for the Prowlers, minute 52 left in the power play for Hudson Valley as Belov works his way up. Gaeta turning in the corner on Parsons. Now back down towards Belov, got through him. Jesso and James after it. And Jesso comes out with it. Whiz space, his shot in and out of the glove of Sokolov. Scramble for it, and it comes back to the corner. Jesso to Noreka. Walks the line, still with the puck. Noreka downhill, and he had to pass it off. Craig gave it off to Noreka, now on the far side. Back to Craig again, watched by Elias. Gaeta. Out top is Jesso. Fake the handoff. Jesso all the way across, looking for Noreka. Elias got his stick in the lane. Now Gaeta has to recover the puck after missing a pass. Craig to Jesso, one-timer off the back wall. Gaeta couldn't put it back on net. Good stick by Ben Brockway. 45 seconds left in the man advantage for Hudson Valley as a shot block there from the Prowlers. Then Jesso scores. As the rebound came back to the Venom, they pushed it across, and Dustin Jesso has his 3rd point of the night, and Hudson Valley is back in front. Make it the 4th point of the night, actually, for Dustin Jesso. A goal and 3 helpers for him in this game. A back and forth game continues. Special teams can win and lose you games, and special teams certainly a big factor so far in this one. Off this face-off, It comes back to Craig. Now Poser in his own end. Drops for Connor. Craig. Poser this time gave it away to Chartrand. And Gesso retreats into his own end. Gesso starts up and he's forced back. Gesso winding it up again. Couple of head fakes into Prowler's territory. His shot just whistles wide. Now Craig wristed towards the net, steered to the corner by Sokolov. Johnson softly all the way down. We are finally back to 5-on-5 hockey as the Venom score a couple to take back the lead. Of the 7 goals, 5 have been scored by respective power plays, as it was given away there by Millette to, again, that's number 2, who I don't see on my sheet. I'll try and figure out who that is. Meanwhile, it's Federley weaving his way in. Federley all the way around the cage, tried to center, popped up in the air, landed right next to the net where Asp sent it around. Off the glass and out of the zone, settles for Lockhart. Over to Alex Johnson. Now back across in the direction of Millette. He had to come back for it. He taps it to Lockhart, retreating and watched by Erickson. Johnson tried the home run feed. This time, it's tipped along by Federley, dumped in by Vaughn. Asp around to the near side to Jacob Stahl. Back towards Rasmus Asp. Led out for Charlton on the left wing. Tried to float towards the middle of the ice. Erickson a shot. That one slipped through and past the cage. Now Vaughn. Dumped into the corner. Round behind the net. Stahl keeps it moving. Lockhart pinches in to keep it alive. James in front. Slipped right through the blue paint after Leas got a shot away. That one will come all the way down, but icing waved off. So Parsons has to play it. Venom get a chance to change. Now Leas up the left wing, hustling in, chips it around Asp and goes after it himself. Left there for Rasmus Asp, off the boards, and he finds Gesso, one-on-one with Brockway. Fed over to Gaeta. He hands off to Poser, down low, deflected, kick save by Sokolov as Gesso got a good stick on that one in the low slot. Noreka back to the top. Rister through traffic and Sokolov stops that one as well. Prowlers in the midst of a change as the Venom look to work it back up. Panovanov quick up to Noreka. Gesso lost it. Now Gaeta curling drag, and he only finds the netting out of play. Venom back in front with a couple of power play goals. We'll take a break. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not...
Not a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Live where you work. Work where you play. Is your work commute making you miserable? Quit the commute. Explore hot jobs in St. Clair County paying $40,000 to $100,000 or more. Visit stclairhotjobs.com. Spend more time doing what you love. If you're not currently living in St. Clair County, or you know friends or family that moved away but are ready to come back, then visit stclairhotjobs.com to find a new job and make the move.
13:42 to go in the Hungry Howie's second period. It's a 1-goal lead for the Hudson Valley Venom. Power play goal after power play goal for both sides in this game. And it's actually 6 of the 7 goals so far have been scored on the man advantage. So he dropped the puck again. Sokolov makes a quick save off the long-range try from Poser. Noreka spinning in the corner on Nikita Petroditsin. Tried to drag it out front. Couldn't do it. Turnaround try by Gaeta went in, but they blew it dead before. So no goal, and the net was off its moorings. So that was the reason for the whistle. Prowlers catch a bit of a break there. So Noreka drove the crease looking for the hat trick. They do have that first goal of the period for the Venom credit to Danila Belov, but it was Noreka who picked the corner, and it was Noreka who Sokolov just had to make a pad save on. Vaughn putting his body into Poser on the wall. Puck down in the corner. Gaeta bounces it to the top. Poser's shot ramps off of Sokolov's stick and out of play. Both teams will get some fresh bodies on the ice. Both teams down a player for the rest of this game. Tucker Scantleberry for the Prowlers and Austin Pickford for the Venom. Both received game misconducts in that opening 20 minutes. Austin Federley wins this face-off back. Brockway tied up with a member of the Venom, and now it's Millette handing off to Federley. Drop for Millette, back down low. Federley collects behind the cage. He works out high, gives it to the top to Brockway, wrists it through traffic, and a kick saved by Moriarty. Chartrand out high to Brockway again. This time he'll go back deep towards Daniel Chartrand. Got through him, and now the Venom look to work out. Home run feed, hit Belov on the back, tries to recollect. He couldn't get to his forehand to get a shot off. I believe that's Quinn Shevers wearing number 2. He has it now. Shevers around the cage, centering feed, just slipped through Belov, and the shot came through from the point. The net came off its moorings again as Belov would have had a golden opportunity. If he could have controlled that puck, it may have bounced up on him a little bit. So everybody has to be separated again. Venom up on shots in this period, 18-7. Or 7-1, pardon me. 18-7 for the game. And Hudson Valley with the only 2 goals of the frame, taking the lead back from Port Huron. Face off, one back by Parker. It's Craig. Sending it down to Charlton with space on the half wall. His shot stopped by Sokolov. Rebound comes to Chartrand. Tried to feather it along. Federley took a stick up high. But since it was on a follow-through, no penalty as Charlton was trying to get that puck deep. Chartrand sends it around. Millette pokes it away from Parker, and now Lockhart gives to Brockway. Down to Millette, gave it back. Lockhart now looking for a shooting lane. He'll go back to Brockway. Handcuffed him with the pass though, so the puck escapes the zone. Brockway on to Lockhart. He tosses it in. And now James able to steal the puck behind the net. Good forecheck by Chartrand as well. Noreka took it back. Chartrand able to find it and give back to Lockhart. Now James the other way. Taken by Stahl. Now Lockhart skates into it. Lockhart around Stahl. He's tripped up. And a penalty coming up against Jacob Stahl. Prowlers will go back to the man advantage once everybody gets back to their skates here in the near side corner. So the Prowlers back to the man advantage. They are 3 for 3. They scored 3 goals on a 5-minute major. This is their first 2-minute power play. They've lost Tucker Scantleberry off their top power play unit. They'll replace him with Daniel Chartrand. As Graham and Stewartson get set for this face-off. And it's one back. Johnson gives over to Federley. Now down to Lockney. Federley at the top. Back to Lockney. Wrist shot blocked by Asp. Graham below the goal line. Fanned on the pass out to Lockney. Now he gets it to him. Federle straight on. Back to Lockney. Wrister off the bar. It stayed out as it caught the crossbar. Lockney back to Federle. Johnson one-timer. He scores! Alex Johnson's back on the board, and the Prowlers are back tied with yet another power play goal. And Alex Johnson able to unload the big blast from the top of the right wing circle. He beats Moriarty to the blocker side for his 4th of the year and 3rd power play goal of the season. That is the team lead in that category. So with 10.5 to go in period 2, we have a barn burner for you. 4-4 our score. Not yet to the midway point of this hockey game as icing's waved off, so Gaeta and Heinzel race after it. They canceled out and Parsons took the puck. Floated across to the far side. Nobody home for the Prowlers, but Chartrand poked it off of Asp's stick. Back on it is Noreka. He's trying to turn up ice, but Reggie Millette with some good defense there. Chartrand harassed, able to get it down to Federle. Whips it behind the net. Millette first on it. He lost it to Jesso. Millette on it again. Gives across to Luke James fresh off the bench. James tried to drag it through Asp. Nothing doing there. Now James on it in the corner. He'll waste some time and wait for his teammates to come off the bench to help out. To a side scrum as Lias is in there as well. It comes out for James. Out high, Petrovitsin jumps in. Gave it back to Nikita. Rister off a stick, floats over top of the cage. Jesso works his way up ice. Float pass looking for Gaeta, gloved down by Johnson. Makes a move around Jesso, and then he's stood up by Asp. Jesso working through the drop stick that belonged to Alex Johnson. Meanwhile, it's Fleck back in, and he's pushed off the puck. And now Fleck a little bit slow to his skates, heading back to the Prowler bench. Meanwhile, it's a rush for Hudson Valley. Gaeta handed it off to Jesso. And now Gaeta turning on Alex Johnson. Gets it out high. Stahl walking the line, backhander towards the cage. That was blocked on the way through. Jake Vaughn on the right wing takes the shot, saved by Moriarty. And off the boards, but not able to get to Jesso. That was Noreka with the pass attempt. Noreka back on it, and he gives it right away to Brett Lockhart, who has to wait for his team to get back on side. Puck still being fumbled, and finally it comes to the Venom with a pass to Noreka out of his reach. Let's see if somebody can put a couple of passes together. Prowlers will try and do just that, but they turn it over. Lockney from his knees, able to swipe it out of the zone. Matt Graham almost picked it up there. Oh! Off the stanchion and in. As Sokolov went out to play it behind the net, and Brett Parker's going to get credit for this goal. A goaltender's worst nightmare. The dump-in hit the stanchion. And just like that, Hudson Valley is back in front. So we'll chalk that one up as bad luck, although if you don't believe in bad luck, we'll call it a bad bounce. And the Prowlers trailing once more as they look for a response. Venom captain picking up his first of the season. Sewerton tried to center. Battle for behind the cage, centering feed, taken away by Federle. Wrister towards the net, goes just wide. Now Shevers out in front, turnaround try, saved by Sokolov. And Heinzel softly on towards Millette. He chips it around one man and gets it deep into offensive territory. Chartrand left it in the corner for Millette. Off the back of the cage, Chartrand lost it in his skates. Craig found it and worked it up to Belov. Stewartson recollects the puck, but the Venom offside at the Prowler line. 7:01 to go in period 2. It's a 1-goal lead for Hudson Valley. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
See that? That's what 100% mozzarella looks like. What dough made daily looks like. What fresh ingredients and 8 irresistible flavored crusts on pizza cooked to perfection looks like. It's so much flavor, we don't even know if it's legal to have this much flavor. Now you can get that famous flavor for only $8.99. Wait, a large one-topping pizza for $8.99? That's a deal. It's a steal. No, it's a crime. Just $8.99 for a one-topping pizza full of our famous flavor. Now that's how we do a deal.
Hungry?
Howie's!
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
.701 left to go in period number 2. Prowlers trailing 5-4 after the strange goal for Brett Parker off the stanchion and into the net as Makar Sokolov tried to go behind the cage to play it. Bad luck or a bad bounce for the Prowlers, however you look at it. And they are back looking up at the Venom. In a game that's been absolutely nuts so far, we've seen everything. Or just about everything. I'm sure there's more that we haven't seen. Here's Gaeta trying to dangle his way off the half wall. Now Noreka working on Petroditsin. Came down low. Turnaround try by Gaeta. Wouldn't go for him. Jesso picks it up off the corner board. Sent it across, and they score. I think Jesso banked that off of Luke James in front as James was sliding to block the pass, and the Venom back on top by 2 goals. So another tough bounce for the Prowlers. I think that one will be Jesso's goal. With 6:32 to go in period 2, it's a 6-4 hockey game. A 5-point night for Jesso, his second 5-point game of the season. And it looks like Makar Sokolov's night is done. And the first regular season action for Yoshihiro Kiriowa coming up. We'll call him Yoshi. Sokolov ends a tough night with 17 saves on 23 shots. And Yoshi, who played in the Prowlers preseason game against the Motor City Rockers, will now get his first regular season action in the FPHL. Prowlers looking for a response. It's Lockhart. Still with it in the corner. Can't find a pass, so he bounces it up high. Brockway there. Gives back to Lockhart. Try to send it back down low. Instead, the Venom turn it back out. Here's a quick shot. Stopped by Kiriowa and out of play as Brett Parker came in one-on-one. And a tough first save for Yoshi. So Yoshi in his 10th pro season, experience with 7 teams in 5 leagues in 5 different countries. He's played in Latvia, Finland, Ukraine, South Korea, and Japan. Now in the United States, he did play some junior hockey in the U.S. in the Met JHL and the NAHL. Here's Reggie Millette. Had it, but lost it to Parker, working one-on-one against Parsons, who poked it away just enough to knock the Venom offside. 5:50 to go in period number 2. So this game was 2-0 Venom, then it was 3-2 Prowlers, then it was 4-3 Venom, that was 4-4, now 6-4 in favor of Hudson Valley. Prowlers hoping for some more goals, at least on John Moriarty as they dump it in. Stolen by Millette, turnaround shot right into the chest of Moriarty, and he'll hang on for a whistle. So Port Huron sending out Matt Graham's line with Jake Vaughn taking the spot of Tucker Scantleberry, or taking the spot of, Daniel Chartrand. They dropped the puck before the Venom had completed their change. Chartrand was on this line. Scantleberry was on the top line with Federley and Millette. They moved Chartrand there, and Vaughn here on this line. Tied up off the draw. Graham got it deep. He spun it away from Stahl. Now Lockney able to find it, centering feed, but Vaughn was tied up by Belov. Prowlers look to work back up as they steal it right at their own blue line. Came across towards Stahl though, and now Port Huron on the regroup. Johnson, headman towards Lockney. Tipped in, and Craig, forced by Matt Graham, gave it to Sewertson. Plays it back down and around. Stahl keeps it moving on the boards. Lockhart pinches in to keep it alive. Lockney looking towards Alex Johnson, who was pinching in. Instead, it's Belov working an offensive rush, but plenty of Prowlers back to stymie that. Now Lockney gives it off to James in with speed. Luke James from the outside, kick save, rebound, another save by Moriarty. Puck still loose, and it comes to the corner. As Alex Johnson had the opportunity on the rebound, I think Moriarty stopped that one as well. Puck bouncing around. Stahl picks it up, retreats back to the blue line, and then dumps it around. Brett Parker spinning on Johnson. Parker out high. Rister was blocked by Gavin Fleck, who's on his way out to the point. Now Lias chips it off the boards as he took a hard hit. And now it's handed off for Alex Johnson. He's taken down, penalty upcoming, and bodies flying everywhere as Sewertson tumbled over top of Johnson. We'll take a break. Prowlers power play when we return right here on the PHP Network.
Explore the 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron. That is Michigan's Thumb Coast. Discover charming coastal towns, serene beaches, and endless outdoor adventures. Stay at cozy hotels, paddle through pristine blue waters, and hit the fairways along breathtaking views. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Prowlers power play with 3:46 to go in period number 2, trailing by 2. It's Jesper Eriksson, 2 minutes for tripping. Everyone seemed to be okay after everybody was tumbling over each other. You take a look at Dustin Gesso leading things on the Hudson Valley bench, and you see MJ Markle there in the suit, the new head coach for Hudson Valley. Again, after the firing of Josh Newberg. Again, 3 new head coaches in the FPHL. It's Markle, Jameson Milam in Motor City, and then Monroe also made a coaching change after one game. So Austin Federley settles this one down. Prowlers get the power play to work as Johnson is back to Federley. Johnson again. Matt Graham battling in front. Now he peels off to the corner and gets the pass from Johnson. Graham looking for Lockney. And on the second opportunity, he puts it by him and down ice. Prowlers power play, 4 for 4 right now, if I have it correct. There's, of course, always the chance that I don't, as things got very complicated in that opening 20 minutes. As Johnson walks in, gives back to Lockney. Now over in Federley's direction, had to reach out for it. Craig couldn't clear it down ice. Stewartson trying to do it as well, and Federley good to knock that one out of the air, keep it alive. Lockney down to Graham, fed it across, looking for Johnson, who swung and missed. I think Poser got a stick on the pass to disrupt just a bit. Johnson over to Lockney. Down towards Federley in the corner. Tried to send it to the front of the net, bounce back to him. Lockney, Johnson gave it back. 40 seconds left in the Prowlers power play. Johnson has Graham in the corner. All the way around the cage, out to Federley. Takes the shot, shouldered away by Moriarty and out of play. 29 ticks to go on the Port Huron man advantage. 2:15 left in this second period. It's been a wild game so far. Prowlers switch up the power play unit. Millette, Lockhart, Fleck, Parsons, and Vaughn. Sent down ice immediately by Rasmus Asp. Now Yoshi leaves it. And out come the Prowlers. Right wing side, it's Lockhart. Dancing, and he works his way in. Final 10 seconds of the Prowlers man advantage. Lockhart still with it. Gave it over to Vaughn. Walks, tried to feed it across, just did get over to Millette, but not after plenty of sticks in the way. Back to 5-on-5. It's battled for in the corner, pulled out by Fleck. Out high Parsons. Now Vaughn lost the handle as he tried to load it up. He goes tumbling to the ice along with a member of the Venom. Prowlers work back in. Lockhart. He dumps it deep, takes a hit, and heads off to the bench. Asp gave it away. Millette's shot knocked down by Moriarty. Didn't know where it was. Fleck tried to bank it off him. Instead, it's Asp. He goes up to Erickson. Millette right on him, and he stole the puck back. Final minute of play in period 2. As Parsons dumps it around. Asp. Left wing side, it's Gaeta. Chartrand muscles him off the puck. Now Brockway to Parsons. Port Huron regrouping. Looking for one last rush here in the final minute. Chartrand lost it to Gesso. Back in with speed. He couldn't pull a trigger though. Good play by Luke James on the back check. Now James is up with some speed. Gives it to Leas. To the net. Stopped by Moriarty. And he'll put the glove on top with 22 ticks to go in period 2. So coming up on the second intermission report, the Moses Roses smoke break. We'll chat about this game so far, everything that's gone on. There's a lot to get to. Also take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule, out-of-town scoreboard, and more coming up next on the PHP Network. This pass whipped around, finds Gaeta with 15. Drop pass, Noreka, spinning away from a Prowler. Noreka hands off to Stahl to the net, and Yoshi has that one in the breadbasket. And he hangs on for a whistle and a face-off. So since that goal for Hudson Valley, the last one from Gesso, Prowlers have 6 of the last 7 shots. They haven't been able to beat Moriarty in that time. As off the draw, Noreka hit the crossbar. Pozar tried to backhand it back towards the cage. That's going to do it for period 2. But Noreka that close to the hat trick and to making it a 3-goal game. It will be a 2-goal game heading into period number 3. Shots on goal in that second period, 14 for the Venom, 9 credited to the Prowlers for game totals of 25-15 in favor of the home side. And the Prowlers will need a comeback if they're to pick up any points here in Hudson Valley, as the final 20 minutes of play will be underway shortly here on the PHP Network. But first, coming up in the PHP Network Moses Rose's Smoke Break, talk about everything that's gone on, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the downright insane. We'll also look around at some out-of-town scores, Prowler's upcoming schedule, much more. It's all coming up here on the PHP Network as the Prowlers and the Venom head to their respective locker rooms to talk about this game so far and the game plan to pick up some points for either side. Well, secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game on Friday, February 15th, as they host the Blue Ridge Bobcats with puck drop at McMorran Place scheduled for 7:05 p.m. Tickets are available online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or by scanning the QR code on your screen now. That's online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or scan the QR code on your screen now to be a part of the Prowlers' 10th anniversary season. It's a barn burner here in Newburgh, 6-4 in favor of the Venom, and we'll talk about it next right here on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Seriously, not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should've just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. back here in Newburgh. It's a barn burner, 6-4 in favor of the Hudson Valley Venom. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network. A little bit calmer in that second period in terms of penalty minutes, but not in terms of chaos, as the Prowlers entered the period up 3-2 after 3 power play goals on a 5-minute power play, but then the Venom capitalizing on their 5-minute man advantage, including some 5-on-3s there, as right now they're giving the first goal to Danila Belov. I believe it was actually Noreka, but I may be mistaken. It happened down on the far end of the ice, about 200 feet from me, all the way down the other end. So I may be mistaken with that one, but they also got a goal from Dustin Jesso just over a minute later. Those were both power play strikes. That put the Venom back in front, and then Alex Johnson tied it up with a power play goal. But then the chaos commenced as Brett Parker tried to dump in with about 8 minutes left in that second period, and it hit the stanchion. Makar Sokolov went out to get it behind the net, but it hit the stanchion and took that weird hop back into the net, and a goaltender's worst nightmare right there. That made it 5-4, and then Jesso tried to make a pass across. It hit off of Luke James, who was sliding to block it, and that hit the back of the net. And wow, it's been something in this hockey game as we take a look at the stats for this game so far. 6-4 is the score. Shots are only being credited at 25-15, and I think both John Moriarty and Makar Sokolov's save percentages would like them to add a few more shots, and I think they should add some more shots. I don't think those are extremely accurate. I think both teams have certainly had more shots on goal than that, but that's officially where they stand. Both power plays have been lights out so far. Prowlers 4 for 5, Venom 3 for 4 so far in this game. Again, Prowlers with 3 goals on the 5-minute man advantage, while the Venom got 2 of their own during a 5-minute power play, and both of them, though, being 5-on-3 goals, because the Prowlers had other penalties besides that 5-minute major. And you see the penalty minute totals for both sides, astronomical, and we still have some time to go in this one. 20 more minutes as the Venom, the most penalized team in the league by a significant margin. 224 penalty minutes coming into tonight's game. The next closest, the Carolina Thunderbirds, at 175. So the Venom, no stranger to these types of games. Meanwhile, the Prowlers came into tonight closer to the middle of the pack in terms of penalty minutes. In fact, right in the middle, 7th in the league with 137 so far this season. But it has been absolute chaos here in Newburgh. We'll see who comes out of it alive and with points at the end of the next 20 minutes. But we will take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule and the out-of-town scoreboard. It's all coming up next, right here on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Back here in Newburgh, 6-4 Venom. As we are minutes away from third period action, we'll have it here for you on the PHP Network. Will Wiggleman breaking it down with you tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in to this one. An absolutely wild game that we have been treated to. Again, a 6-4 barn burner, and we'll show you just a few minutes the out-of-town scoreboard, or as I like to call it, a bunch of games that have had fewer goals than this one. But first, we have to get to the Prowlers' upcoming schedule, as tomorrow they will face the Binghamton Black Bears. Puck drop 7 o'clock. We'll have it here for you on the PHP Network, and you can also check that one out at the Port Huron Buffalo Wild Wings. And then next week, they're back home against the Blue Ridge Bobcats. 7:05 and 6:05 starts that Saturday game. The Casey's Kids Zone night skate with the fans after the game, and the gaming lab will be in with VR headsets to show to fans, and they'll be able to check those out. Or pardon me, that is not tomorrow. That is next month. Or no, it should be tomorrow. We'll find out for sure, but it is a Casey's Kids Zone night indeed tomorrow night, or next Saturday night, as the Prowlers host the Blue Ridge Bobcats for a 2-game set before they're right back on the road. After that, they'll head down to Louisiana for a 3-3, not on that calendar on your screen right now. They'll head down to Louisiana for a 3-3, 2 games in Baton Rouge and 1 in Monroe. That will certainly be a test, as the Zydeco look much improved this season, and the Moccasins have held their own against the Athens Rock Lobsters early on in this season. But again, first, Prowlers have to get through this third period, try and stage themselves a bit of a comeback, and then they get the defending champs tomorrow night, and they are facing the Dashers Hockey Club of Danville, Illinois tonight. And it's Binghamton with a 5-2 lead. At this point, Tyson Kirkby has the last 2 for the Black Bears. He has 2 goals and an assist. Marion Pazika, the new signing for the Dashers, picked up off of waivers from the Motor City Rockers, has 2 helpers for them. So maybe he'll help turn their offense around a little bit. We go to Danbury, where the Wolves are being road warriors right now. They lead 3-0. Trevor Newman has a pair, and Andrew Whalen with the other for Watertown, as the Wolves trying to keep pace with the Black Bears atop the Empire Division. And then we have the Motor City Rockers and the Monroe Moccasins. Second period over in Fraser. It's 3-0 Motor City. TJ Sneath has a goal. Cody Oakes and Eli Rivers, the other 2. And Nick McGill-Diaz, in his first game for the Rockers this season, has an assist. So is Sotirios Karageorgis, who was acquired via trade before last week's series between the Prowlers and the Rockers. Did not play. He's making his Motor City debut tonight. He has a helper as well. Moving to the other side, the Mississippi Seawolves trailing Blue Ridge 4-1 as the Bobcats scored the first 4 goals in this game. Aaron Ryback, Daniel Martin, Lucas Roth, and Devin Sanders, the goal scorers for Blue Ridge. Curtis Hansen got one back for Mississippi, but the Seawolves with plenty of work to do in Wytheville to get back into that game. And then finally, first intermission in Baton Rouge. The goaltenders, perfect so far, Sammy Bernard and Brendan Colgan. And of course here, the only goaltender that's perfect right now is Yoshihiro Kuriowa, and he has faced 2 shots since coming in relief of Makar Sokolov after that 6th Hudson Valley goal. And Sokolov leaves officially with 17 saves on 23 shots, although I believe both goaltenders have been shorted a number of saves in this game. But unfortunately for Makar and for John Moriarty, it won't show up that way on the FPHL League website. But the Venom have been led by their top line tonight. Justin Gesso, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. Davide Gaeta, a goal and 2 assists for 3 points. And Amantis Noreka, 2 goals and an assist for 3 points for him. The entire rest of the team combining for just 4 points on 1 goal and 3 assists. So it has been a top-heavy game for the Hudson Valley Venom, but the Prowlers haven't been able to stop that top line for Hudson Valley. And that seems to be the type of team that the Venom are going to be this season. It's going to run through that top line, a very talented top line, and of course run by Dustin Gesso, one of the best players in the FBHL when he's on the ice. They don't have too much behind that line, at least offensively, so they need to put up points, and they have so far in this game. For the Prowlers, they've spread it around a little bit, as Austin Federley, Daniel Chartrand, Reggie Millette, and Lucas Lockney have 2 points apiece. Chartrand and Lockney with 2 assists, and Millette 2 goals. Federley a goal and an assist so far in this game, as we get set for period number 3, and we bring back up our PHP Network trivia question about Sal Safante, who I have not seen on the ice. He's under a celebrity contract tonight, and we want to know who the last player with a celebrity deal for the Prowlers was. And you have to go all the way back to January of 2023. It's Matt Robertson, who was on a celebrity deal with the Mississippi Seawolves for the first neutral site game in Baton Rouge that season against the Prowlers. And then he was on a celebrity contract with the Prowlers for the next neutral site game. And poor Matt Robertson had to end up playing a regular shift in that game because the Prowlers were so decimated with injuries at that time. So Robertson ended up playing a regular shift, power play, and there were only 9 forwards dressed for Port Huron in that one. So Robertson certainly got his money's worth on that celebrity contract. As both teams back on the ice, Moriarty in the goal crease to our left. He has made 11 saves on 15 Prowler shots. Yoshihiro Kuriowa in the goal crease down here right in front of me. He's made 2 saves on 2 shots since coming in relief for Makar Sokolov, who's currently on the hook for the loss. Unless the Prowlers can get a couple of goals in this third period, we're underway. Scholes Family McDonald's third period on the PHP Network. Ben Brockway dumps this one in behind Moriarty. Poser first on it there, rimmed up the wall, got through Noreka, and on the fresh sheet, it slides all the way down for a quick icing just 19 seconds into period 3. Prowlers certainly have come from behind before this season. They do have 2 comeback wins of their 3 victories this year. And they did come back from a multi-goal deficit against the Venom in their last meeting, although they did eventually lose that one in regulation. So it's certainly doable. We'll see if they can get an early one here. Well, at first they'll have to defend as Noreka curl and drag to the net, and he rose that one too tall, trying to pick the short side corner. Not sure if Yoshi got a piece of it or not. Stahl reverse up the boards, right to Noreka, pulls it off the wall and fires it up towards Jesso. Now Gaeta, but Venom offside at the line. So the face-off will come outside of the Prowler zone, right in front of the Prowler's bench. You see Chris Paul in there, back behind the bench for Port Huron. Just a few hours from Chris Paulin, who grew up near Rochester, New York. As Charlton and Graham get set to draw. And Alex Johnson works it up to Lockney. Lockney had the puck taken from him. Now it's Petroditsin. Works it back up the wall. Said that's just a pass to Hudson Valley. It's dumped around by Parker. Yoshi keeps it behind the cage. Petroditsin bumped it around Charlton, and Lockney works out with it. On to Matt Graham. Nice move by Graham, but the drop pass to Lockney was offside. Choppy start to this third period. Another whistle. We haven't yet played 90 seconds. This time the face-off just outside of Venom territory. Brian Parsons fires this one down and around. Craig chased by Leas. Quinn Shevers on the left wing. We did get confirmation that that is him wearing number 2 as they try to jam it at the side of the cage. Stymied by Yoshi, sent back towards the net, blocked by Parsons. And Luke James works his way out, over to Leas. Long-range wrister, stopped by Moriarty with the blocker. They blow it dead, and a roughing call coming against the Venom. It's Blake Sewardson going to the box. He's not sure about the call, but the Prowlers will take it. Their 6th power play of the game. They are 4 for 5 so far on the man advantage. Matt Graham and Brett Parker get set to draw. Reggie Millette has moved up to this top power play unit for Port Huron. Again, the absence of Tucker Scantleberry, who was ejected from this game. Right off the draw, Venom cleared down. The penalty clock has not started, but the game clock has. They do know certainly when Sewardson is supposed to leave the penalty box, so I'm sure they'll fix it once we get to a stoppage, or they'll send Sewardson out when he's allowed to be brought out, as the puck was brought back in offsides. It just escaped the zone before Federley skated back in with it. We'll see if they reset the clock. It looks like they will. So roughing, was the call on Sewardson. I think he threw the big hit on Leas, and I guess the referees determined that there was something illegal involved with that hit, enough to call it roughing. The face-off come just outside of Venom territory. Again, just as soon as we get this clock reset. Believe it should be about a minute and a half, maybe a minute, or maybe 30 seconds. Don't mind me, I'm not great at math. They're still working on it. The off-ice crew here at Ice Time Sports Complex. Dozens in attendance here to witness this game. Well, probably a bigger crowd of the two games that I've seen. They certainly get a number of fans when Danbury and Binghamton are here, but not too many Prowlers fans traveling to Newburgh. And as someone who grew up about 40 minutes from Newburgh, I don't know why not sure why you would travel here, but it's all right. It's a nice place, but it's not too much to attract you, especially with the ice rink. A minute 15 left to go on the Prowlers power play. Lockney playing catch with Federley, and now he sends it over to Millette. Federley, now Lockney, down to Graham, in front, backdoor play, and Millette was on the other side, but he couldn't connect with the puck. Johnson to Federley, 55 seconds to go in the man advantage. Johnson wrister off a stick and out of play. Mark Poser got his twig involved in that shot to send it over the glass. There's still no shots on goal on this power play for Port Huron. Graham wins it right back to Johnson. Walks, gives to Federley. Now Lockney. Wrister just missed to the far side. Touch back to Lockney. Walks down to the faceoff dot, tried a seam pass, that ramped off a stick. Johnson recollects with 30 to go on the man advantage. Johnson to Federley. Back to Johnson. Head up, gives back to Federley, touched it down deep, bounced off the boards to Millette. Lockney across, Johnson with 10 to go in the power play, but the net came off its moorings behind John Moriarty. That will eliminate the Prowlers' opportunity there, and they have 10 seconds left on this power play. They'll switch things up. Plenty of passing around for this power play unit for the Prowlers, but no shots on net. And it comes to the point, Parsons in the final seconds until Stewartson steps out of the box. And a opportunity wasted for Port Huron. As here comes the Venom, played off the side of the cage and then snagged by Yoshi out of the air. That was Stewartson who took the pass and just played it off the side of the post. Just over 4 minutes gone in period 3. No shots for either side despite the Prowlers' 2-minute power play. And now they'll have to defend a faceoff with number 22 Jesso against number 22 Luke James. Gaeta turnaround shot off the back glass. Karams to the near side. Jesso centering feed out of the air. Couldn't be knocked down by Gaeta. Here's Vaughn. Rink wide finds James. He pulls up. Tried to slip it towards the net. That didn't work. Bounced back around and lofted out of the zone. Here's Jesso working on Brockway. Jesso didn't pull the puck through, and Shark Train comes in to take it away. On for Vaughn. Has James with him. Vaughn bounces it off the wall. James after it. Gets there ahead of Gaeta. Leaves it for Vaughn. Out high Adam Heinzel. D-to-D pass. Brockway off the boards. Sends it deep. But the puck was bouncing and rolling. Lockney couldn't control it. Noreka couldn't drag it through a couple of Prowlers. Now it's Jesso on the backhand, and he scores a field goal over top of the net and into the netting out of play. We'll take a quick break. 6-4 Venom, early stages of the third. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we have a flavor philosophy. It's that you deserve to mix and match the most delicious flavor you've ever had with even more of the most delicious flavor you've ever had. But how can you mix and match the most delicious flavor twice at the same time? Well, we're not in the business of logic. We're in the business of blowing your flavor-loving mind with flavor upon flavor. Philosophize on that. Get any 2 items on the mix and match menu, including the 2-topping flatbread pizza for $6.99 each.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Back here in Newburgh, just over 5 minutes gone in period 3. And Hudson Valley with a 6-4 lead on the Port Huron Prowlers. Will Wiggleman with you on the PHP Network. It's been a wild one. Thanks for sticking through it. And we'll see if the Prowlers have a bit of a comeback in them. They need at least 2 to get some points in this game. Defensive zone face-off here. Federle ties up with Sewardson. Comes to the corner. Belov tried to put it towards the net. Gave it right to Alex Johnson. Reggie Millette tried to hand it off to Federle. A little too far in front. And I think they whistled the Prowlers for offsides at the line, even though nobody from Port Huron touched it. But they were going after it. Maybe Federle did get his stick down on it just a tad. But either way, the draw coming just outside of the Venom zone. Had a lot of face-offs in this third period. It felt like it's taken forever to get just past the 5-minute mark of the frame. And this one sent to the middle of the ice. Save by Yoshi on Sewardson. And he puts the glove on top for a whistle and a face-off. So the face-off will be to Yoshi's left. Yoshi, very talkative in net, is something that I've been noticing here in this third period, with my vantage point right down near the ice as Vaughn's shot from the outside ramps off a stick and catches the back glass. Graham from the corner line, and that was fought off by Moriarty. One coming all the way down. Yoshi plays it around in Vaughn's direction. Now it's taken by Shevers. Quick shot stopped by Yoshi, and he covers it up. As I was saying, Yoshi very talkative. Our vantage point is just over the glass and a little ways back. I'm looking through the protective netting right down the goal line on the Prowlers side. If they turn that camera just a few more feet to the right, you'd be able to see me. But being so close to the ice, I can hear a lot more of the talking between the players, at least down at this end. As Parker takes out the draw, and Yoshi another save and another freeze of the puck. I've noticed Yoshi especially, one of those guys talking a lot, even as the Venom come over the red line. I always hear Yoshi saying something to his defenseman. Off this draw, Heinzel rims it around. A Prowler went sliding into the boards as it was Johnson who lost an edge. Meanwhile, it's James slipping past Stahl. Try to slide it down low. Instead, it's banged out. And Johnson, first on it, gives over to Heinzel. On towards James, tips it in. Stahl fanned on the pass. He's able to get it to Charlton. Working on Lockhart. Got in deep. And the puck comes around. Parker cycling it towards Charlton. That one sent out and down ice. Will die short of the icing line, so Port Huron gets a change. Comes all the way up the left wing boards. This one will be icing against Hudson Valley. With the Venom icing the puck, Prowlers get a chance in the offensive zone. Lines in a bit of a blender right now. Now they have Lockney, Federle, and Millette for this offensive zone face-off. Prowlers trying to spark some offense. Not like they haven't had much offense in this game. They certainly have, but most of it coming via the power play. And they do trail by 2. Here's Nareka trying to dance through Brockway, who stood his ground. They dig away. Brockway knocks Nareka to the ice. Prowlers look to work out. Millette touches it by one man, and then Millette keeps on chugging. Down below the goal line. He lost it to Asp. Lofted out, and Nareka first on it. Brockway going to meet him in the corner. He left it there for Gaeta, who's run off by Federle. Nareka up to the blue line. DDD pass to Asp. Comes off the back boards, and caroms all the way to the near side half wall. Lockney just picked up his stick. Now he has to go after the puck. He hands it around towards Lockhart. And now Brockway with a little bit of time and space. He'll go off the glass and out to neutral ice. Skating into it there is Matt Graham. Sent back the other way by Panavanov, who's turning now on Vaughn. Johnson, D to Parsons. Quick up, Matt Graham. Gives to Vaughn. Chip off the boards and deep. Asp and Graham come together in the corner. Just so digging there. Vaughn comes in as well. And now Just so able to pull it out. Played off the boards. And Parsons sends it in deep. Knocked down by Graham to Vaughn. He scores! First of the year for the big man, Jake Vaughn. He pulls the Prowlers back within one again. Matt Graham with some good hand-eye coordination, knocking that one out of the air. And he finds Vaughn for the one-timer on the backside. No chance for Moriarty. And certainly some relief for Jake Vaughn, who had his opportunities in his first games with the Prowlers of the season last weekend. And now finally able to see one hit the back of the net. He had 2 in 5 games last year. Now Fleck a drive as he stepped into one. Stopped by Moriarty. Fleck comes in to throw the body on Poser. Puck is loose and floated back to the line. Petrovitsin plays it at neutral ice. Heinzel dumps it back around. Prowlers have to touch up. Delayed offside situation. This one sent out. Taken by Elias. Drop pass looking for James. That didn't work. And out come the Venom. It's Poser skating it himself. His shot blocked. And then it comes off the back wall. Yoshi tried to chase after it. Poser was getting a face wash from Heinzel as Poser went after that puck, with Yoshi going after it as well, and Adam Heinzel defending his goaltender. Chance for the player on celebrity contract, Sal Safante, from the Venom faithful. Safante, of course, plays semi-pro hockey for the Hudson Valley Vipers, who were here last season, and then their ownership group, led by Pat Manning, bought the Venom, or bought the Elmira River Sharks, moved them here, and made them the Hudson Valley Venom. But everybody's separated, no penalties coming out of that, just a face-off deep in Yoshi's end. As Sewardson and Federley get set to take the draw. Tied up there on the draw. It's Belov getting to the front, and Yoshi seals off the post. Prowlers work their way out. It's Millette with Lockney. Gave it to him, but he couldn't handle the pass cleanly. Asp up the boards right into Shevers. And then Shevers steamrolls a Prowler. I believe that was Lockney in the corner as he dumped it around. Port Huron back on the puck, at least for the moment, as Millette cycles it down to Federley. Took a bump there from Stahl. Comes to Lockney behind the cage. Tried a centering feed. That was stymied by Moriarty's paddle, and then Lockney was knocked down at the side of the cage. A couple of rough rides there from Lucas Lockney on that shift, as the Venom getting physical on him. Approaching the midway point of period 3. Prowlers within 1, thanks to a Jake Vaughn goal. See if they can tie it up as a turnaround try by Chartrand is kicked out by Moriarty in the splits. Graham below the goal line, out to Vaughn. On his backhand. Cycles it to Graham, and now Chartrand behind the cage. Poser comes in on him, and the puck skitters to Charlton, who hustles up the right wing side. Knocked off his stick a couple of times. Charleston still with the puck. Down towards Parker, defended by Lockhart. Parker cycling it on further. Then Graham takes it away. Vaughn up for Alex, jumps in. Left wing side is shot, knocked down by Moriarty and sent out of the zone. Millette slows things down, gives to Lockhart. He's forced back. Left wing side, it's Johnson. Has help going to the net, gives it to Millette. Johnson at the point. Has a shooting lane, slipped it through Nareka's legs. Moriarty able to make the save. Adam Heinzel keeps that puck alive in from his defensive position. Then he took a bump, and out come the Venom. Nareka, the outside, and his shot just whistles past the post. Prowlers were in the midst of a change. Brockway came off the bench to cut down the angle on Nareka. Floated all the way across and down into Prowler territory. Brockway retreating. Gives it up to Fleck. Rink wide feed looking for Lockney. That didn't connect. Played back in his own end by Panovanov. And Stahl lifted it out. Heinzel threw a hit on Jesso. And Adam Heinzel's getting a penalty. Meanwhile, Lockney upended by Panovanov. Both referees with arms up in the air. Jesso and Lockney still both down on the ice. And some more exchanges between the players as we're under 10 minutes to go here in period 3. Prowlers still trail by a goal. We'll sort this one out. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
EDA, providing local business support for over 70 years. And helping to boost our region's workforce, retain and attract talent. Working to grow the local economy and the flow of money into our community to help businesses be profitable and successful. Focused on improving the region's economic strength and quality of life for residents. To learn more about the EDA of St. Clair County, visit edascc.com.
Explore 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron in Michigan's Thumb Coast. Begin your adventure on a blanket of golden sand at one of our serene beaches. Connect with the historic atmosphere of our region's nautical influence and reconnect with friends under a blanket of stars. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
8:10 to go in period number 3. There's a man in each penalty box, so we may be evened up here as we continue. Looks like 4-on-4 as they announce the penalties. Adam Heinzel came across like a safety in football to hit Jesso as he thought the puck was going to come to Jesso. It didn't end up getting there, so Heinzel gets 2 for interference. And I didn't hear the penalty for Hudson Valley. It looks like it's against Panovanov. But the Prowlers and Venom will play a little 4-on-4, and why not? We've had all kinds of power plays on both sides, and now it's time for a little 4-on-4 action. Interference is the call against Panovanov as he hit Lockney without the puck. So a little open ice. Johnson writhing off the face-off. May have taken a little cup check or something to that effect. He's back on his skates and entering the offensive zone. Here's Millette with the puck. Makes a move. Reggie Millette just couldn't pull the trigger. And now Millette forced back out to neutral ice. It's just so defending him. He sauces it to Johnson. Played back to Lockhart. Oh, that one didn't work. Gaeta tried the Michigan. That didn't work either. Puck still carrying around. Gaeta just pushed it wide. And chaos in front of the Prowlers net after a missed pass. Millette sends this one deep. Graham out high towards Parsons. Rister blocked. And Parsons has to hustle after it. Delayed penalty coming up against the Venom. Prowlers calling Yoshi to the bench. As Prowlers can't enter offensive territory as Johnson is still slow to leave the zone. They blow it dead. And with 52 seconds left in 4-on-4, it's going to be Poser heading to the penalty box. And out unsportsmanlike conduct, gestured toward the Hudson Valley bench. Things getting a little out of control over there on the left side of your screen, it looks like. Not sure what happened that time to Alex Johnson. Is right off the face-off to begin that whole sequence, he went down. And then again, behind the play, deep in the Venom territory. It looks like he was just hit from behind as he was standing in front of the net. Not sure if he got hit by the puck too. But in the box is Mark Poser. 2 minutes up on the board for him. So if it stands as that, it will be a Prowlers power play, 4-on-3 for 52 seconds, and then 5-on-4 for 1 minute and 8 seconds. The Prowlers have Federle, Graham, Lockney, and Millette.
2 minutes for interference, 2 minutes. Number 56, serving a bench minor, 2 minutes.
And a bench minor, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct against the Venom as well. That's the second penalty. So Federle gives over to Lockney. Walks in, back out top to Federle. Fakes the shot, now he'll take it. And a blocker save by Moriarty. Federle looking for a similar goal to the one he had. Now Lockney tried a centering feed, but couldn't get enough on it to get to Matt Graham. Venom clear. Federle quickly back up. Weaving, finds Lockney on the right wing side. Prowlers back in and slow things down. Lockney across to Millette. Looks, tried to go back to Lockney. Parker blocked it, but he couldn't send it out of the zone as that puck was bouncing on him. Final seconds ticking off the 4-on-3 to make it a 5-on-4 as Federle winds, fakes, Millette a one-timer. Moriarty stretching out to make the save. It's now a 5-on-4 Prowlers power play, and the puck just did escape the zone, and Millette brought it back in. So offside, I believe, is this a 5-on-4 or 5-on-3? There are 2 penalties on the Hudson Valley side. We'll see when everybody is on the ice, whether it's 5-on-4 or 5-on-3. Not even sure the Venom bench knows. So there's plenty of confusion over there. Now it looks like it is a 5-on-3. So 5-on-3 for the Prowlers for 1 minute and 1 second. And then they'll have 5-on-4 time for a short while after that. So big opportunity for the Prowlers power play. Trailing by 1. It's Federle. Gives over to Graham, gets it back. They continue to play catch. Chartrand right in front of Moriarty. Johnson one-timer saved by Moriarty. Federle back across to Johnson. And they whistle it dead as the net came off its moorings behind John Moriarty. Both goaltenders for the Prowlers and Venom having trouble with that net down on the end that John Moriarty is currently standing in. So 34 seconds left in the 5-on-3, and then it will be just under a minute of 5-on-4 time, unless the Prowlers score. There's Lockhart. He gives to Federle. Straight on. Shot goes wide, and then Chartrand stopped by Moriarty on the rebound. Federle to Graham. Walks down. Gives back to Federle. Now he walks. Lockhart, a shot. Knocked down in front. They score, but it's blown dead by the net coming off again. So both teams have scored after the whistle blew for the net coming off its moorings down at that end. It was Davide Gaeta in the second period, and now the Prowlers power play. Not sure who the last one to knock it in was. But here we are, still 6-5. 14 seconds left on the 5-on-3, and then, if I can do my math correctly, should be about 50 seconds of 5-on-4 time for the Prowlers. Off the face-off, they get it back to Federle again at the top. Lockney steps off the wall, lost the handle. Lockney down to Graham. Lockney again from the goal line. Couldn't get that one to go. It's 5-on-4 now as Poser hustles to join the play. Lockney down to Chartrand. Out high, it's Federle. Lockhart back to Federle. Rister through traffic, knocked down in front and cleared. 30 seconds left of 5-on-4 time for the Prowlers. Unable to score on the lengthy 5-on-3, but they did get 3 shots on net during it. Moriarty had to make a couple of really good saves. And of course they got one that went in just after a whistle though. Vaughn slips his way by. Curls in the corner, gives out high to Parsons. Now to Millette. Trying to make a pass back. Parsons was backing out just as the penalty expired. So Hudson Valley back at full strength. Huge PK for the Venom. 4 minutes to go in regulation. Prowlers trail by a goal. Parsons gives to Vaughn, his shot blocked. And Lockhart first on it. Sent out by the Venom. Comes to Jesso, but he was just in offside. And we'll take a break. Our final timeout, 3:45 to go in the third period of a tied game. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
A Big Mac.
chicken Big Mac?
Chicken patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We invite you to tune into our next broadcast tomorrow, Saturday, November 9th, when the Prowlers visit the Binghamton Black Bears. Puck drop is scheduled for 7 p.m. Pre-game show starts at 6:45. It's all right here on the PHP Network. Sal Safante is out there on the ice right now for Hudson Valley. That is what all the noise is from the dozens of fans in attendance. Here's Reggie Millette working his way in. Over to Federle. His shot kicked out by Moriarty. And now it's Jesso. He's forced back. Jesso revving it up. Knocked away by Millette, who takes the puck. Millette fights through a check. And now it's Parker with the puck. Settle down behind the Venom net. Poser had some trouble with it. Millette keeps it in at the line and lofts it deep. Pass goes right towards the Prowlers bench, and Port Huron is going to get a bench minor. Prowlers were in the midst of a change. If Sal Safante could have caught that pass, it would not have been a bench minor against the Prowlers, but instead the puck came right to where Port Huron was making a wholesale change. 2:57 to go in period 3. And the Prowlers will have to kill off a 2-minute penalty. So a chance for Hudson Valley to put it away after the Prowlers blew their opportunity to tie things up. And now some confusion over in the penalty box area. Prowlers need to put somebody over into the box, and they choose Nikita Petroditsin to serve. So possibly another, oh no, not another penalties, pardon me. They just have Nikita in there to serve. Lucas Lockney stepped in there originally, and then I guess they told him to leave because the penalty box attendants weren't sure. Here comes a shot, kick save by Yoshi. Rebound comes out to Craig. Noreka to Gaeta. His shot blocked on the way through. Gesso. Harassed by James. Hands off to Craig. His shot stopped by Yoshi. Heinzel couldn't get enough on it to clear though. Noreka tied up by James. Puck skitters loose. Kept in by Gesso. Stick handling around Chartrand. Gesso still harassed by Daniel Chartrand. Gave it off to Gaeta. Back down towards Gesso. Parsons is going to get a penalty as he got his stick in on Gesso. Slashing is the call, and Brian Parsons can't believe it. But it will be a 5-on-3. Gesso now getting in the face of Parsons, who's trying to even things up. Heinzel now has a man wrapped up. Parker talking to James. Sewertson just absorbed a shove. And Chartrand going after Sewertson a little bit now. Still not done. 2:11 to go in regulation. Both teams have players in their respective penalty boxes. 3 in the Prowlers penalty box, 2 on the Venom side. So if that sticks, looks like we won't have anything extra unless there is more extra. And now Chartrand going to the dressing room instead. The Prowlers have Parsons in the box as well as Nikita Petroditsin, who's serving the bench minor. Parsons was getting the original penalty. It was a slash. Parsons couldn't believe it. Shocked by that call after it was made, and then he was sent to the box and tried to take Dustin Gesso with him. And now security coming over to chat with some Venom fans who are getting after Daniel Chartrand in the Prowlers tunnel. Alex Johnson coming off the ice to try and make sure nothing else happens. I can't see what's going on. It's down here next to me. And now Johnson talking to the security guard. And Parsons stepping off the ice, blowing kisses to the crowd. That's a wily vet move from Brian Parsons. Playing in game 210 of his FPHL career. Mostly with the Prowlers. Everything being sorted out now. And now's the time, a good time as any, to continue to shove in your face that we'll be live on the air again tomorrow night, same time, different place. Prowlers visiting the Binghamton Black Bears, 7 p.m. puck drop, 6:45 pregame, right here on the PHP Network. Once this insane show is over, and I hope at the very least it was entertaining. But right now, Prowlers trailing by a goal and in lots of penalty trouble. They were unable to score on a 5-on-3 earlier in this period while trailing by 1. And after all kinds of goals in the first 2 periods, 5 goals in each the first and the second between the two teams, just the one for Jake Vaughn here in the third. It was enough to get the Prowlers within 1, but the Venom still with the lead, and now looks like Blake Sewertson is being asked to leave. So if my counting and remembering is correct, 2 on each side have been sent early to the showers. It was Skettleberry and Pickford back in the first period, and now Chartrand and Sewertson in the final minutes of regulation. And I think the understatement of the century is the PA announcer saying we have a couple of penalties on that play.
10 minutes misconduct has been ejected from the game.
So Parsons, 2 for slashing and a 10-minute misconduct.
10 minutes misconduct.
Chartrand, 2 for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. So actually that would make it 3 Prowlers who have been asked to leave early in this game.
So 2 minutes for roughing, 10 minutes misconduct.
So just so, 2 for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. And Blake Sewertson got 2 for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. So all in all, 4 players, 2 aside, kicked out of that whole fray. And how about that? No on-ice manpower change. Still 5-on-4 for the Venom. So it all evens out, except on the penalty minute sheet, which continues to lengthen, and I'm sure they've needed to add another sheet of paper in there, whoever's filling out the game sheet. Prowler's trying to get offensive while shorthanded. Here's Lockney with a shot that's blocked wide. Lockney chopped it back towards the net. Graham collected it behind the cage. Graham trying to go to work in deep. Instead, sent out. Parker dumps it around. Comes over to the near side. Chopped along by Brockway to Graham. And now out to Lockney. It's poked back away. Charlton. And now comes to Belov on the left wing side. Erickson working on Federley. Had his stick lifted by Graham. And Erickson upended. Austin Federley, first one on it behind his own net. Headman feed on for Millette. Has 2 in the game. Needs to find a tie and go for his team. And then Millette took the body as he tried to dangle to the net. Moriarty ended up with the puck covered up. And a minute 16 left to go. 19 seconds left on the too many men on the ice penalty against the Port Huron Prowlers, being served by Nikita Petroditsin. We'll keep our eye on Yoshi down here at our end. Certainly will be no problem to see when he heads to the Prowlers bench. And Port Huron calling a timeout, or at least trying to. Chris Paulin was from the bench, and finally Alex Johnson able to at the face-off circle. What a wild game we've had here. In case you've missed anything, it got started early with the Venom scoring the first 2 goals of the game, and Montes Noreka and Davide Gaeta. But then Prowlers get a 5-minute power play late in the opening period. They get 1 from Austin Federley, 2 from Reggie Millette. They made 3-2 Port Huron after 1. Noreka with his second of the game, second on the power play early in the second, as it was the Venom's turn on a 5-minute man advantage. Dustin Jesso also connected on that power play, so then it was 4-3 Venom. But then the Prowlers with a power play goal of their own. Alex Johnson made it 4-4 just before the midway point of period 2. 7 of the first 8 goals in this game were power play goals. But since then, all even strength. Brett Parker with a funny one that went off a stanchion on a dump-in and eluded Makar Sokolov, and then Dustin Jesso had a pass less than 90 seconds later, bounce off a Prowler and in. And Jake Vaughn, the one-timer in this third period. The only goal of the final frame. Yoshi is on the bench. Venom still technically on a power play, so it's 5-on-5. with the net empty as a drive by Lockney is kicked out by Moriarty. They dig away in the corner. 3 Prowlers in there trying to get that puck loose as we hit the final minute of play in regulation. Lockhart towards Millette, tried to slip it down low, and it's taken back by the Venom. We're back to 5-on-5. So now it's 6-on-5 for the Prowlers with Yoshi out of the cage. Austin Federley looks to rev one up. Federley into the offensive zone. He dumps it around. Moved along. Lockney tried to poke it out. They dig away on the half wall. And Lockney keeps it in. Lockney down to Graham. Tried to center for Vaughn. That didn't work. 21 seconds to go. Back across. Lockhart sent it towards the middle of the ice. And it's sent all the way down and in. As Lockhart centered, it was in the crease, but nobody on the Prowlers could get to it. Instead, the Venom send it 200 feet into the empty net. And Hudson Valley will pick up its second win of the season, both here in Newburgh against the Port Huron Prowlers. I'm not sure who that was that shot it down ice. Port Huron cannot win in this building, apparently. Again, the only 2 wins for the Venom in their franchise's history will be against the Prowlers, as Austin Federley and Alex Johnson are having a discussion with the referees right now. I'm not sure what about. Everybody chatting. There's a big gathering going on right in front of the scorer's table. There are 15 seconds on the clock. And it looks like a 2-goal Venom lead. Stick around for the post-game show here on the PHP Network. We'll do a little bit more of a detailed breakdown of the game than we did during that Prowlers timeout. We're giving it to Brendan Charlton, the empty net goal. And where are they pointing this face-off? Is this no goal? Oh boy, I can't wait to hear the explanation on this. If this is indeed not a goal, I can't wait to hear the explanation, because I have no idea why it wouldn't be. I think they're taking this goal off the board, and I have no clue why. But the Prowlers will take it. So the game clock being reset to 20 seconds. No goal called on the ice. Prowlers have a chance. It's still 6-5. Tied up. Asp up the boards. Federley able to keep it in. Millette turned it towards the cage. Deflected just wide. 10 seconds to go. In the corner, Graham across. Vaughn. Prowlers need a shot, but the pass eludes Millette. And that will do it. It will just be a 1-goal win for the Hudson Valley Venom. But they get it, their second of the season and their second against the Prowlers as the Venom improve to 2-3-1 on the season. They are now 2-2-1 at home, and they snap a 2-game losing skid. Prowlers fall to 3-3-1. They're now 1-2-1 away from home, and they see their 2-game win streak lost here tonight. So when we come back, we'll have the PHP Network. Well, the PHP Network post-game show. If you're stepping out, be sure to join us tomorrow right here on the PHP Network when the Prowlers visit the Binghamton Black Bears, 7 p.m. puck drop and 6:45 pregame. We'll see you then, but be sure to stick around. Postgame show is next.
Let's go. They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it.
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
At phprowlers.com. Final score here in Newburgh, 6-5 for the Hudson Valley Venom as they defeat the Port Huron Prowlers for the second time this season, and it's just the second win of the season for the Venom at all. They have had the Prowlers number in their only 2 meetings as a franchise since moving from Elmira. Time now for the PHP Network post-game show, and let's take you back through this one. First period got off to a good start for the Venom. It was Matis Noreka just 3.5 minutes into the opening period. His shot wrapped off a stick, and Makar Sokolov lost sight of it and ended up dropping into the cage. That made it 1-0 at that point, a power play goal for Noreka, his 4th of the season and 3rd on the man advantage. Later in the frame, Davide Gaeta doubled the lead on another bit of a funky bounce that Makar Sokolov lost sight of. It was 2-0 Venom at that point. And then the Prowlers got a 5-minute man advantage late in that period. Off a fracas in front of Sokolov's net. After it was all settled down, all said and done, it was a 5-minute power play for Port Huron. Prowlers took advantage. Austin Federley with a wrister from the point got them on the board. Less than 2 minutes later, Reggie Millette with his first as a Prowler on a backdoor one-timer. And then less than 2 minutes after that, it was Millette again, this time a wrister from the right wing circle. Port Huron somehow took a lead into period number 2, but then they got into some penalty trouble as Tucker Skittleberry was given the door. So a 5-minute power play for the Venom appeared there, and they took advantage as well. They also got some help with some extra penalties from the Prowlers that made a lengthy 5-on-3. They scored on both of the 5-on-3 opportunities as Alex Johnson got a holding penalty and then Matt Graham got a slashing penalty. So the Venom scoring while both Graham and Johnson were in the penalty boxes. It was Noreka, and then just over a minute later, Jesso. So Noreka with 2 goals at this point. Jesso had factored in on all 4 Venom goals, a goal and 3 assists for him at that point. But the Prowlers' power play came right back. Alex Johnson later in the period, a one-time blast, and that made it 4-all, and 7 of the first 8 goals of the game came via the man advantage for both sides. As I see they've shut off the camera here, so we'll put the game stats up really quick. As you can see, 6-5 the final score. Shots 31-27 in favor of the Venom. But as we continue along, the real backbreaker for the Prowlers was Brett Parker tried to dump it in from center. Makar Sokolov went to play it behind his net, but unfortunately for him, it took a funny hop off a stanchion, a goalie's worst nightmare. It ended up going in while Sokolov was going behind the net. And that's the first goal of the year for the Venom captain in an unorthodox way. Put Hudson Valley in front, and then 88 seconds later, just so, tried a centering feed. That went off a Prowler in front and got past Sokolov. That was the end of the night for Makar Sokolov. That was just so's second goal and 5th point of the evening. Prowlers would get one back in the third as Matt Graham sent a pass to Jake Vaughn, who put home his first of the year on a one-timer. But they couldn't find the tying goal despite a lengthy 5-on-3 in that third period. Your final tonight, 6-5, and you see the game totals up there right now on your screen. Both teams go 50% on the man advantage, and we had 110 penalty minutes between the two teams. When we come back, one last look at the out-of-town scoreboard, and then we wrap things up here in Newburgh on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Will Wiggleman back here one final time in Newburgh. Your final tonight, 6-5. Again, we have lost the camera for the game. They've already started taking things down, but we're still going here on the PHP Network. Time now for one last look at the out-of-town scoreboard. And we start with a final score in Binghamton. Black Bears behind a hat trick from Tyson Kirkby and 2 assists from the new signing CJ Stubbs. Black Bears win a barn burner 6-4 over the Dashers Hockey Club of Danville, Illinois. It is all Wolves in Danbury, 6-0. Watertown, 2 for Trevor Newman, 2 for Michael Mercurio. And the hat tricks despite 52 shots on goal, according to the live stats. Anton Borodkin has 47 saves, and Garrett Johnson even got into the game for Watertown. 6 saves for him, and no goals for the hat tricks. The Monroe Moccasins have made themselves a heck of a comeback, trailing at 3-0 at our last look. They now have a 4-3 lead. They got 2 in the second and 2 in the third. That one ticking down in the final seconds of period 3. So it looks like the Rockers may have blown the big lead here, and they'll have to stay behind the Prowlers in the standings if that is indeed the case. Moving on to the other side, you want to talk about a lot of goals. The Blue Ridge Bobcats have found themselves a lot of goals. They have a 9-2 lead in the final seconds of their game against the Mississippi Seawolves. Daniel Klinecki with a goal and 3 helpers. Only one Bobcat without a point in that one. They were really spreading it around. And finally, second intermission, it's Columbus 2 and Baton Rouge 1. That's going to do it for me. There's one last opportunity to let you know to tune in tomorrow night when the Prowlers visit the Binghamton Black Bears. Puck drop scheduled for 7 p.m. and the pregame show starts at 6:45. But I'm going to go home and or at least get back on the bus and take a breath. This was a wild one. Thanks for sticking through it with me, and we'll see you next time right here on the PHP Network.